Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first random weeknight evening stream. I thought I would experiment with this. Doing nighttime, I have no clue if the lighting is good. Let me know if the audio is okay. I'm using my Pixel Buds, which I usually don't use because I wanted to kind of get comfortable on my couch and sit back. So this is a fun casual chat, as fun and casual as it can be. That I decided to do this in part because I'm being impersonated by scammers, and I was like, well, maybe do some content because I feel like if y'all, get to know me and have access to me, like we can help kind of mitigate that sort of thing to some degree. My cool on-screen stuff. I subscribe to Restream. They have my money, so I can use all these cool features. I'm also simultaneously streaming to Twitch again to try that. We'll see if anyone tunes in. Right now, it's all of my YouTube peeps. I love you guys. So we could talk about anything, obviously. I mean, I don't have something prepared to talk about scammers other than y'all, the way that tons of people have been reaching out to me because someone has created a bunch of fake Gmails using my name, and they're trying to solicit money from people, and I hate that, and it pisses me off. I like Few things upset me more than injustice, basically. So I'm thanks. I hate it. And in general, it's so funny. Welcome to everyone who's just joined. Just I'm kind of blathering on, testing sound, etc. With scammers, I am so sensitive to people being taken advantage of, especially in this industry. I don't like people scamming people for money, especially aspiring writers. I have really firm thoughts about this that apply to me personally. I try not to be judgmental of other people who make different choices, but it's why I'm hypersensitive about my platform and parasocial relationships and power dynamics. I'm not a never. I've had it in the back of my head, maybe someday I could do something like a course, or I could do teaching or workshops, but I haven't done it because executive dysfunction and the amount of work that would take, and I have all this stuff going on. But I'm very sensitive to side hustle culture and taking advantage of my audience. So the fact that someone is taking advantage of my audience by impersonating me really pisses me off. Not happy, not a happy kitten. Um yeah, the comments. Wow, some people need to get a hobby, right? Well, apparently their hobby is scamming people out of money. So, um, yeah, it is creepy and violating. And so the thing is, I'm not the first. I won't be the last. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I've also heard of some people trying to impersonate me on TikTok too. Um, but this is they're sending email from a Gmail that so Alexa Dunn official at gmail.com, not me. There are no well, now I have a Gmail account that has my author name in it. The hilarious oversight of me being so on top of everything except securing a Gmail. But it means if you get an email from an Alexa Dunn at Gmail, it's fake. I have a email attached to my domain name. So even the Gmail I just squatted on so that no one else could have it, now I have it routed so that it receives and sends email from my domain email, which is what I've been using the whole time. I've had that routed to my personal Gmail account the whole time. And my personal Gmail account is super random. And the scammers don't know it. They know the catch-22 that I have a Gmail account I use, and people who know me know what my random ass Gmail account is. Um, let's see. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Though in fairness, I've known I should be streaming more. I was like, well, what a great reason to pop on stream because I'm worked up about something. Oh, there's one person from Twitch. Hi, Twitch. I'm new to Twitch. And I tagged the last one in the wrong category. I think I'm tagged on the right category now. Twitch viewer. say hi in the chat if you are so inclined. I'm mostly on YouTube. I'm like a YouTuber, so like most of the people in the chat and stuff are from YouTube. But I'm trying to get comfy with the Twitch ecosystem. I have a friend who loves Twitch and basically strong-armed me until I joined. So that's why I'm doing Twitch as well. So I need to be live streaming anyway, and this is an excuse. I'm already like, well, I'm going to be going on submission soon. And when I'm in the doldrums of submission psychosis, I will just randomly live stream because I'm going to want to talk to people. So I really do want to make this semi-regular, and I still want to do more organized streams. I plan on doing one on AI and AI writing and how like bonkers that is. And I am going to have a special guest for that one. I have a friend who is a AI expert. Um, and like generally one of the coolest people I know. She like has her own like really amazing platform on like TikTok and Instagram and whatnot. Professor Casey Fiesler, follow her if you just want to know about like tech ethics and stuff. She's brilliant, but she's going to join me. I've known her for over 20 years, so we're gonna talk about AI and ethics and writing at some point in some kind of semi-organized, pre-planned fashion. You will have warning when I talk about that, and I promise I will actually pre-schedule that. And if you saw this earlier, I originally had this scheduled for 6, and then I had to change it to 8 because I was social and I ended up making dinner plans. So go me, leaving my house and seeing people on a weeknight, on a school night. Um, Here, I've gotten emails like that from 10 well-known authors in the last month. Makes me mad. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the new thing that's going around. The thing I've been on the receiving end of, and I'm sure many of you have, like I get scammy, clearly AI generated solicitation emails almost every single day now, and they're all like, they have like a pithy subject line about like what it's been the bitter end lately, but I've gotten them for the Ivies. I've gotten them for the Stars We Steal, and I'm like, fam, the way, not that I would do any of these anyway, but it's like that book is so old. Why would I pay you money to promote this book from 2020, please? You can't get me, scammers, but I get them every single day. I get multiple of them sometimes, and they're clearly AI generated, and like not real. And also, like it's a taste of what I think a lot of writers are getting. I can only imagine that this is flooding the indie space because it's really clear to me from a lot of the ones I'm getting because they are scams and they are just being auto generated. They have, it's very apparent they have no clue who I am, obviously. They have no clue that I'm traditionally published. They have no clue when the books were published because they're emailing me about the Stars We Steal. And they have no clue that I have like a YouTube, like they're sending them to everyone is my point. These are auto generated BS emails. And now I'm like the extra layer of mad that their new step up is like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be authors to try to hoodwink other writers. It's just really tacky. Oh. You wanted ARC from me years ago and you first thought that I was a scammer. Did I? So I hopefully used my hello@alexadunn.com email, but I have absolutely just randomly emailed people from my random Gmail before, forgetting that like it's a really weird random Gmail. It has nothing to do with my name. And when people receive email from that, I am sure they're like, what the heck is this email? It's like, oh, they probably are like, how is this Alexa dead? But that's like my secret sauce now that I have this super random email. And then, but my author email and that email are all the same email because I have the author email forwarding to there, though Gmail is getting rid of their pop poll, so that's ending, which sucks. Karma gonna hit the fan for these people? I hope so. I hope so. I just hope, they get a really bad splinter or like, indigestion. Like, I just hope for mild, terrible things for them that make their lives generally uncomfortable. So, the other side of me, like, I hope they're just sociopathic con artists who deserve no good things. Because there are desperate people out there who it still doesn't make it cool or okay to scam. But I always have that like well of empathy for like, you don't know what people are going through, but also don't be a scammer. You suck. Not cool. Mm. I am not planning on doing writing sprints right now. I am not currently writing. I just like I'm in like turned in a book mode, which means I'm on like brain like break mode, and at least definitely tonight because it's a school night. Worked all day. I have a pretty busy week. I'm not in writing mode this week. That doesn't mean I won't do some writing sprint video streams in the future. I know I used to do them, but tonight I am not planning on that. Um, Dinner was amazing. If you come to LA or you're in Hollywood, highly recommend Gemma Hollywood on Vine. It's my spot before I go to the theater. And randomly someone was like, "You want to get dinner?" I was like, "I know just the spot because I've been wanting to try $12 martini Mondays." I never have a reason to go on a Monday, so today I did. It's a really good Italian restaurant, and it makes the best mocktails I have ever had in my entire life. Tonight I did get an alcoholic beverage, but their mocktails are like the best thing I've ever had. Like they blow every other mocktail out of the water. So if you don't drink, it's the perfect place. I mean, even if you do, I choose to drink the mocktails most of the time. They're delicious and fresh house made pasta and stuff. But I got the kale salad, which is also Kristen Bell's favorite salad, and that makes me feel very, very fancy. So I would actually like that would be great if they sent me a scam email from me. I dare them. You know one of the most offensive parts though. In fact, ooh, maybe I should play with screen sharing. I did screenshot what this email looked like, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I am offended that you are purporting that I would write like this." Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm still experimenting with using all the features of Restream. Where did I put this? Is the question. Oh, I put it in this folder. Okay. All right. I don't know. I haven't. All right. We're going to experiment with a mild screen sharing for like a second and see if I can get this to work. Oh, okay. I think I have to open the thing. All right. I know how to technology, I swear. Um, I promise. Let's see. I will figure this out. See, I don't want to share. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm learning. You're like, wow, she's like a technology grandma. I promise I know how to do this. It's just the anxiety of doing something for the first time. Is that working? Yes. So you can kind of see that it's not very big. Let me make me small and it large, like that. Yay, I did it. Whew, we're doing things together, fam. This is the email. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I wouldn't say hi, dear. That's very grandma coded. And while I have auntie vibes, don't get me wrong. No. Also, the dear is lowercase, and I'm really offended by that. Um, they at least spell my name right. Good for them. Um, I love that they're calling out that I am a two-time Edgar Award nominee. It is the only thing I have in my life to bring me any sort of validation. Thank you. But what is with the asterisks around my book titles? It's giving weird formatting. It's giving like it's strange. Like that it's meaning that like funky formatting. I'm like, okay. Yeah, thank you, Marsh. This is nothing like how I talk. Though you do have the benefit of having talked to me before. But also, it's exactly like what I hate is they're sending this to people who actually aren't familiar with me. Because several of the ones who reached out made clear they didn't actually know my YouTube channel. I feel like they wouldn't fool someone who was familiar with my YouTube channel, but they can more easily fool someone who isn't as familiar with me. Though I've now added to my YouTube description, I've added a note about scams. So hopefully, people when they look at that note. Let's see where I read and I outdated information. When is the last time I've made content on this channel, period? Hi, welcome. I know this counts as content, but you know I've been a bad girl. I've been gone for years, let alone book content. I still technically owe you a video on mountaineering disaster nonfiction. Just never made it. Promised it 4 years ago. So what a lie that I make any book content. I can't even promote my own books. I am actually sincerely bad at my job, technically. And then Yeah, and then so this is just like a reach out, and then the people who reach out to me with concern had like kind of done a little bit of back and forth, so I was also able to see a little bit of that. Um, and I can share I'm going to close this since we're experimenting. Okay, so now, oh, see, I'm learning how Restream works. I'm going to open the one of the follow-ups. And obviously I clipped out anything showing who this was sent to, but this second screenshot of what the actual hustle is does show the fake ass email address that they created. And so the disturbing thing about this, they created the fake address Alexa Dunn official, so fake. Because a separate person reached out to me. There's also someone who reached out to them via Alexa Dunn 4 at Gmail. If there's an Alexa Dunn 4 at Gmail and there's an Alexa Dunn official at Gmail, someone also has Alexa Dunn 1, 2, through 3. And I'm like, and none of them are me. So this is the hustle. So obviously, if you see something, I mean, I don't do anything like this, so it's obviously all bad. But this is straight up AI. Like the way that this bullet point list is done, this is so AI, like ChatGPT generated to me. And yeah, I don't do this, never done this, would never do this. I don't have the mental capacity to be organized enough to do this. Um, basically. And yeah, they want $300, $299. And obviously BS. My chief concern, it seems like this just started. It seems pretty fresh, and hopefully I'm speaking out quickly enough because I am horrified, mortified. Because what if someone has actually fallen for this? I would be so, so, so mad. I mean, y'all want to know how like bad I am at like the executive function of like putting together something like this? And I'm going to close the screenshot. Like, I can't even get my stuff together to do a single sponsorship on my YouTube channel. I have gotten offers for years, and just the mental bandwidth of like, I have to vet this brand because that's very important to me. I would never attach my name to something that like I hadn't done like a lot of research on, and I'm glad I never did various sponsorships, even the few that I was considering, because inevitably we find out horrible things about so many advertisers on YouTube. God help us. But then like the work, like it's work to accept a sponsorship and then actually do the thing. And I'm like, no, I kind of just want to make the content I want to make when I want to make it for free for people. And then I don't have to worry about endorsing anything because I just take that really, really seriously because my day job is marketing and I take kind of branding really, really seriously. Because like when you have when you create parasocial relationships with people, you have power. So I'm talking about this like at the front, but we can talk about writing. I'm having fun with these features. Like we're not going to talk about scams this whole chat. We can talk about anything as we have in the last couple live streams I've done. We can talk about writing, editing. I just got done doing some editing, so it's very top of mind for me. I ended up rewriting my first chapter for my new book, so I'm always happy to talk about like being scrappy and throwing things in the trash and trying again. Let's see. Catching up with chat. Yeah, so I was hoping that this would hit for Australia. I was like, the one benefit of streaming this late at night PT, I might get some people who don't usually make my streams that I do in the afternoon. I want to be versatile and try different things. The only time you're not going to catch me on here is early in the morning because I am not a morning person. So I'm a night owl. So maybe later streams can work out and Australia and like Europe can benefit. Less so for the Americans, especially on the East Coast, unless you're also a night owl. Can you imagine? Stephanie Meyer just reaches out to you. Oh, see, and that I guess that like they're kind of a smart scammer, and I have to give them some credit for trying to spoof me. I'm I'm not in the stratosphere. I'm not famous. I have this YouTube channel. I do have a platform, and obviously I have talked about books in the past. Um, And so like what's frustrating and scary for me is that I think it's absolutely possible to scam someone using my name. I think I am worried that they're actually going to be successful with this. Let's see. Yeah, scam emails at work. I've been getting them as well at my place of business. It's crazy. Though what's fun is our tech department at work does phishing tests all the time. And I am a phishing superstar. I have caught like they give like out like fake badges that mean nothing, but I have several because I'm very good at catching scam emails. A couple of my colleagues have fallen for them, and I'm like, gold star for me. And I've also caught and reported phishing scams that weren't even tests. I have reported real ones to IT because I'm like, this is a scam. Can't get me. I mean, I feel like I'm jinxing it saying that someone will probably get me at some point, but I'm a naturally suspicious person, and that works out well for me. I trust nothing and no one, especially when it comes to passwords and money. Yeah. I don't really keep up. I am not surprised at all that there's been really bad scamming in art. I mean, I feel like just scamming is up so much right now in this current landscape. It's so bad. Largely aided by AI. At least a lot of the ones that I've seen. I can't imagine what it's like for agents right now. Oh man, it must make querying so bad on so many levels. This is a good one. Yeah, let's wish this on these scammers that they can no longer use their wall sockets. I like kind of like inert, terrible things because I don't actually wish true harm on people. I feel like if I do that, it's like that bad karma is going to come back on me. I don't wish terrible things to happen to people, except a very short list of humans. Um, but I feel like karma does usually come to get people. And do I believe in karma? I guess I do because I talk about it, and yet I believe in very little else. So who knows? Um, uh, da, da, da. I feel like my emails have a lot of exclamation points and LOL used as punctuation, though I probably didn't do that in a professional communication to you. But if anyone ever chats with me, I am one of those cursed, really sad millennials who legit uses LOL like punctuation. It's embarrassing and I can't stop. It's really bad. Oh, but otherwise, I do use correct punctuation, but I also use LOL and haha as common rejoinders, like a disease, and a lot of exclamation points. When I write professional emails, I have to like go back through and force myself to change exclamation points to periods because I'll just have exclamation point, because I like to communicate enthusiasm and happiness. I care about tone in an email. Um, yeah. Yeah, this is back from when I was talking when I was screen sharing. Exactly. Like I know people who know my channel would be like, "That's sus," but if you don't know who the heck I am, yeah. So yeah, exactly. ChatGPT can do some pretty amazing things. Ugh, annoyingly. Yeah, and spending $300 for a glorified shout out. Yeah. Thing is, there's a whole cottage industry that absolutely is pay to play in terms of charging for like reviews and whatnot. So yeah, I've never done one because I'm not lazy. I understand what I don't want to do and what I find overwhelming, and I juggle a lot of balls at all times. Same reason I can't self-publish. I don't trust myself to do it well. I think I would go insane because I would want to do it really, really well, and it is in fact hard to do. So I don't do it. I don't want to commit my brain space to it because it'll make me cry. It's not a never, but I understand the capacity I have when I have it, and I am very careful about my bandwidth. Ooh, we have two people on Twitch. Like at some point, if the Twitch people speak up, it'll be so fun because I'm so new there. Um, let's see. Yeah, does this mean I'm famous? No, I really don't think so. But clearly, I have a niche that someone is impersonating me. It's actually not the first time it's happened. It's just the first time it's been egregious to this level, like the creating of the email addresses and emailing a ton of people, etc. I'm trying to get verified on Instagram as like a little. I've wanted to for a while. I just refuse to give them my money because no Meta, no. But if I can get verified the old-fashioned way, I think it'd be nice to like have one of my social spaces have like that badge so that people would feel that they could reach out to me like a trustworthy space. Obviously, like it's me on my actual YouTube channel, so that's always an avenue to reach me. And the email address that I have on my website, hello@alexadunn.com, is me, goes to me, is real. But honestly, after all this, with all the spam I've been getting, I'm kind of worried I might have to like not have my email address online anymore. I don't know. I don't like the idea of not being contactable, reachable, because like for every scammy thing or thing I just don't have the bandwidth to respond to because I do get a lot of people who reach out. I get something lovely like a local high school that like wants me to do a book club and I like that kind of stuff. I've also gotten some funny ones. In December, I had two different high school students reach out to me about my book and they were doing a book report for school and for extra credit if I could answer some questions, and every single thing in the email about my books was wrong because they used ChatGPT to write their emails. It's like, don't believe the internet, kids. AI lies. Not like one of them made up quotes from and plot points from the Ivies that didn't exist, and the other one made up an entirely different book for the bitter end. I was like, none of this happens. This is not not accurate. Yeah, do your work, kids. Don't trust. Don't trust. Oh, that's so sweet. I was the first channel you found that made you want to try writing. Me, Kate, and Lainey. Aw. We're like the OGs, like with our like author two canes. I feel so old sometimes. I'm like, oh, the dark ages. I still get comments on like really old videos too sometimes, and they're very impassioned sometimes. I'm like, ma'am, this is an 8-year-old video. This is an 8-year-old video. You read it too, though. I get comments sometimes, responses to 8-year-old Reddit comment threads where I'm like, this is a Wendy's. Like they're fired up. It's like they're right in the moment. And I was like, this is like 8 million years ago. This is like a past me. Are you a night owl or a morning person? I'm guessing night owl. Um, yeah, you're not going to catch me up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm decent. I usually stay up to like 3 a.m., which isn't particularly healthy. But I'm usually pretty good about going to bed by 3. Like if I hit 4, I'm a garbage human who can't function. But I can stay up till 3 in the morning. That's healthy. Ugh. I'm just really lucky. I don't have to start work until like 9:30 in the morning. And I live close to work. I'm really lucky. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, fam. Nah, my ability to do a thing is just in the basement. Yeah, it's podcasting's actually really, really hard, and I have realized that is a hard limit for me. If I ever do a podcast again, I will hire a producer to produce it so that I don't have to do the parts that I cannot promise people I can keep up. Like, I don't know why, like editing a YouTube video, easy, relatively speaking. Editing a podcast, laborious as hell. And I do know who I would hire to do a podcast for me, should I do that at some point in the future, because I'm friends with the buddy system, and the person who, like, one of the people from the buddy system is trained to produce podcasts and is obviously very good at it because they produce the buddy system. So I would pay Han to produce a podcast for me at some point, maybe, probably not. It's fine. You get these live chats, super fun, less professional, but easier to do and keep semi consistent. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, where they create ghost books for you where they're like, and you're like, sure. It's almost cute how wrong they are sometimes. Oh, I mean, I try to be warm and friendly. Yeah. So yeah, excessive exclamation points and LOLs is punctuation. Millennial disease. Um, I have not. I will check it out. Let's drag these scammers because I hate them. I was so close to emailing the scammer behind alexadenofficial@gmail.com, just to let them know how tacky I think they are. But then I was like, ugh, don't expend your energy. Though if I could bait them into responding to me, I could report the email. I've been telling people receiving the scams to report it, but I can't actually do anything if I haven't received an email from them. So yeah, I'm not surprised because it's such an area where we have an accessibility because YouTube is such a community engagement platform and there's like I don't know, I'm not surprised that they have done that. But yeah, I could say with complete confidence, I just have never had the ability to create anything on the side. I just haven't had the mental bandwidth for it, so it's not going to be me. Just can't get my shit together. Or I choose not to get my shit together. Truly, like if I put my mind to something, I can do it, and I have no desire to give myself extra work. I have like 3 jobs. I'm good. Yeah, this is definitely something to look for with fishing, where they do like a close spoof where it's really, really similar. That's definitely how I've caught some of the ones at work. Um, but they're getting really sophisticated with the ability to kind of spoof things now, making me feel old. Me being ancient, it's fine. Oh, go to bed. Oh my gosh. I hope you have a lot of caffeine. Oh, take a nap. That concerns me. Oh. Yeah, see, I agree. This is better than a podcast in a lot of ways because it's interactive. So I love a good podcast. I love something that you can just like I like putting them on like and I watch like the ones that are like posted to YouTube. So I can multitask while I'm listening to something. There are many beautiful things about podcasting as a medium. I just was not personally capable of doing that with any consistency. I do not have an opinion, like a professional opinion. I have the same kind of thought that many of us would, and I have no dog in this fight. I don't read these series. The same thing with George R. R. Martin. Like I understand the creative burnout part of it, of like being stuck on something, but I'm also kind of like, when you are that famous and that rich and you literally have one job, I do find it mildly surprising. I'm like, but you know what? Okay. And it sucks for the readers. I can only be so lucky to be so famous and successful that I can disappoint millions of people with my inability to finish a series. Right? Oh, you're just calling me out here. I'm a horrific people pleaser. Nailed it. I'm actually quite bad. I'm bad at boundaries a lot of the time and saying no. Like I'm unable to like answer a lot of the emails that I get in part because I know that like I had to draw that boundary because I knew otherwise I would just it would eat me up inside not like dedicating time to every single person. Um, and I just can't possibly do that. And I actually do still feel bad about it, but it's why I'm kind of like, I mean, I will definitely look into this. I hate these scammers. They can get effed. I know I can curse, but I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like there are children present or people who were in high school very recently. So that is so cool. I have not watched Diana on Netflix, which I know is weird. So I am a huge musical girly. So this is amazing. I love that you're in the musical. That is so cool. I have a season package to the Pantages, the Amundsen, and the LA Opera in LA. My whole like dink, not dink. I'm not a dink. I'm a sink. I'm a single income, no kids and whatnot. Treat yourself thing since I got my first book deal has been theater. Um, that is so cool. I should watch it on Netflix. Obviously, like it's so funny because I watched videos about Diana the musical on YouTube. That was about the musical on Netflix. Um, I really should because I love analyzing a disaster. Like, with all due respect, like, because actually I saw some videos that were pretty even-handed about it, and I've wanted to watch it and to go in like without opinion, so to speak. So it actually has probably been a perfect amount of time to watch it with an open mind. But like, for example, did I watch a slime tutorial of Bad Cinderella because I just had to watch the train wreck? Yes. Did I lose hours of my life? Like, not even hours. I think it was days of my life trying to fix Bad Cinderella dramaturgically. Yes. I almost made a video about this, and I was like, no one cares about your musical opinions. You've tried to make other content on your YouTube channel, and the algorithm and the audience don't care about your special interests. Um, I want to fix Bad Cinderella. It is such a bad book, and I know what the problem is, and I could fix it. It would, of course, be a completely different musical, but it would be better. I am fascinated by how bad the book of that musical is. Oh, and there are other ones. Oh, I could literally just stream for hours just talking about Broadway musicals, about musicals. I have very strong opinions. And I love after I see shows at the pages, especially if they're bad, they always send a feedback survey, and I love like giving them like saucy little opinions, not as an insult like to the the hardworking cast and whatnot. It's not their fault. It's never their fault. But I've occasionally given my opinion about the choice to include certain things in the package where I'm like, and also I've occasionally given my opinion about non-equity versus equity, which is obviously like a US thing where I'm like, we should be support. I mean, I know there are pros and cons to both, but we had like one season post COVID where almost every single show we got was non-equity, and I was like, shady, shady, support performers. But I mean, not equity are performers as well, but meaning like there's always the concern about like working conditions on non-equity productions in the US, but also they often cut corners in other ways. I have so many opinions. You should, or if you see me in person, be like, that was me. I called you out. That does make me feel marginally better. Aging is so weird. Y'all will catch up with me eventually, obviously, but I'm in that period of life where I'm just like, huh, time is very strange. I feel like, no, I don't feel like I was in high school yesterday. I was about to say that. I was like, that's a lie. Thank God. Do not miss high school. But I do feel like I was 25 like 2 weeks ago in a lot of ways. And I'm like, And now my knees hurt. That's not a good part of aging. I actually do like how much more mature and chill I am about things. Um, You missed me giving you a positive shout out. Someone asked if my defunct podcast was ever coming back, and I said, "Nah, I do not have that executive function skill set. But if I ever make another podcast, I'm going to hire Han to do it." So, because you're very good at it. So if anyone likes 911, you can watch the Buddy System podcast because it's very well produced and it's very good. It's very niche, but it is my current hyperfixation. So join me. Um, I have not. I'm not quite as good at like smaller niche ones. I mean, I guess it just depends. Um, Maybe we are secretly the same person. I mean, I think that this is the beautiful thing about the internet, though. I think that there's like a very like small subset, like or they're like overlapping Venn diagrams of hyperfixations that people will commonly have. So I think especially with like writing and stories and books, musicals, like like I think it all kind of goes together. Um, no, aging is so weird, like literally. And like you will eventually have the shame that I have now, which is when I was younger, older people were telling me that I wouldn't understand why they didn't feel their age. I was like, middle-aged people, whatever. And now I am that person. I was like, yeah, they're right. It like goes like that. Everything's very slow when you're younger and you're like rushing for things to move forward. And then everything goes way too fast. way too fast. And years just go by and you lose time and you lose opportunities. And it's like, and the worst part is truly that youth is wasted on the young. Like now I have the mental capacity and the resources and like the good hair and the makeup sense and the dress sense and all of these things to really have a great time in life. But like my knees hurt and I have less energy and I have a job. I have less time to do certain things. And I'm like, God damn, that's just the way that it goes. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm over it. I object. Here's my cat. Yay, we love a cat appearance. Though oh, she's like down by my side. She's so good. She wants cuddles. I'm guessing this is about the Odyssey musical. It doesn't actually have stage shows being developed by a single writer, and it blew up. Cool. I can talk about my random current musical hyper fixation if y'all just want to like know random thing. We can also talk about writing, but like I also love talking about random things. Maybe late night chats for me randomly talking about things. My current thing, it's currently playing in LA, but it was on Broadway a couple years ago, and it was off Broadway like a decade ago. It is a disco pop musical about the rise and fall of Imelda Marcos. It is basically like a meta pop disco musical that's anti-fascism. And it is, the songs are all bops. It's by David Byrne and Fatboy Slim. And it's basically about like the fascism in the Philippines, a dictatorship in the Philippines. Um, and I wish I'd seen it on Broadway because on Broadway, it's like fully interactive. It's set in like a dance club and it's meta because they divided the theater into like the have and the have nots. The bottom, so the most expensive tickets at the theater, like you are actually on, it's standing room only and you're at a dance club and the musical is performed on like these moving stages, and so the characters based on real people are like performing for you and you're gonna like dance and whatnot. But then as the musical goes on, and it's fascism, guys, you're meant to start feeling really icky about yourself because you technically participated in the regime in essence. And then the people at the top are meant to be like the proletariat. And eventually it's just so cool. And in LA, they weren't able to do the staging like that. They had to change it. It's more like traditional theater, but like the songs are so good if you like disco dance music, and I do. That is exactly my vibe of music. I have slightly weird musical taste. They're really good, and it's just a very cool musical. It is slightly imperfect in the sense that it has prompted debate, and I think it's healthy debate. Um, that are you in many ways sanitizing or condoning, even if you don't mean to, a fascist regime by making a musical about it? You know what I mean? It's kind of the Evita question, though I'd say it is here. It's called Here Lies Love. Didn't say the name of the musical. Here Lies Love. I'd say it is definitely a lot sharper than Evita, which is my favorite musical of all time. But absolutely, if you're thinking about it as like a criticism of Eva Peron and Peronism, it kind of doesn't work because it absolutely like creates Ava as like a pitiable main character, like a character who you're meant to root for. Um, and I actually think one of the songs, if I could get David Byrne to talk to me, I would ask him this. I feel like one of the songs is a direct response to Evita, in fact, that is like very much critically like responds to that. Live Here Lies Love does a very good job at demonstrating narcissism through song, I thought, and like dramaturgical choices, though it is a sung through musical. It's really cool, and it's playing at the Mark Taper Theater in Los Angeles right now with an all Filipino cast. And it was really good. If you, so I am an old, and I have no context for this, but if you are a young and you love Blues Clues, the guy from the Blues Clues movie is in it, and he's really, really good, actually. It's a very fun musical, and the soundtrack, I've been listening to it nonstop on like streaming music. It's from the 2014 cast. It's really good. Highly recommend. Me and my random musical taste. Another one I really loved, if we're just like talking about musicals, if you have the opportunity to see Sups, which you will when it airs on Masterpiece Theater, because they did a pro shot for it in May. That is my favorite musical I saw last year. I saw it in LA at the Pantages. I wish I'd seen it on Broadway. It was so, so good. um I can't say, like, just musically it's really really interesting, and it the book is so good. I cried like 3 times. It is so good. Great musical, highly recommend. um let's see. Yeah, that's your Met era. I'm in the fuck it 40s, so I'm actually really enjoying them. Like even today, like I posted a YouTube short about this scammer thing, and someone gave me sass in the comments, and it's fine. I'm over tilting at windmills. Like you do, you brah. I'm great. So maybe I'm too apathetic. I don't know. I just can't take the stress. It's not worth it, brah. Oh yeah, I've heard about this Epic the Musical. I have some friends who are obsessed with this, so I know I need to check it out. Writing question. I have this thing where I want to write a book, but it's so visual in my mind, I can't get the details on the page. It blocks me from writing. How do I work around that? I don't know if I have a perfect answer for this. Let me doodle on this, and people in the chat chime in too. I I'm guessing it's just getting the language to kind of do justice to the visual. So I guess I can say letting go of that a little. It's never going to be as good as it is in your head, or I should say the struggle to translate that is natural. Um, and you just kind of have to push through it, and then see what you end up with, and recognize it as its own medium, because it's not going to necessarily match the visuals in your head, and then just kind of go forth from there. Um, it could be that, or if the problem is that like it's all visuals and you're like not able to grasp the other parts of it to actually write, perhaps um, the thing is to focus on the emotion, to get kind of inside a character's head to write it. It kind of depends on what the roadblock is. I do have that sometimes where I have something so vivid in my head for a long time. My thing is usually I just have to let go of how I'm envisioning it and do the best I can when I actually put pen to paper, metaphorically speaking. Yeah. Okay. The Odyssey musical is Epic musical. Yes, I've heard of it. Um, got it. I have not heard of that. That sounds very niche. I love niche interests. I have some more obscure musicals, though I'm generally pretty basic. I mean, Evita's my favorite musical. That's a little bit basic. Oh God, when I heard that that is Trump's favorite musical, I wanted to die inside. I was like, can I change my opinion about things? But it's fine because I'm like, he doesn't understand it. That's a him problem. You can't take my favorite musical from me. How dare you? I grew up. My mom had every version as a on vinyl as a record. I used to play them. I love the original concept musical of Evita with Julie Covington. Ah, classics. I would love to do this. God, it is so expensive. The few times I've been able to go to New York and actually see Broadway, I've only done it twice. The first time was only like a couple of years ago because it's so expensive. Um, I'd say pick the off season. I had an easier time. Wait, no, I've seen Broadway shows 3 times. Forgot I've done it 3 times the last couple of years. Like winter is cheaper than spring, summer, and you have to be mindful of Tony timing. But like the hardest part is just sucking up how expensive even halfway decent seats are. It hurts me inside. But yeah, it's really fun. Like once I finally saw an actual Broadway show, I was like, oh, this is why everyone loves it. Because like I love seeing theater wherever I see theater, but God, what you can't compare with is the size of the theaters. They're not like some of them are so intimate, and like it and just the elaborate sets they do, because like, they build them out for Broadway, like compared to like the tours that I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is bonkers. Like just like how extravagant they are. But it's such a bougie thing, like with how expensive they are. Like I did like a treat yourself most recently. I went for the Edgars last year, and I spent a stupid amount on Broadway tickets. I saw like the three buzziest shows at the time. I saw maybe Happy Ending right before the Tonys. I was like, I slid right in there, so I got a decent price. But so maybe Happy Ending. I saw a picture of Dorian Gray, amazing, and I saw Oh Mary. It hurt me inside to pay the ticket prices I did, and they were really good. But I was like, this is some bougie ass rich people shit. Like, I love musical theater, but God. Um, but I love it. And when I was a kid, I couldn't really afford to see any of it. I can count on one hand the number of shows I saw before I was 20 because it's just so expensive. It's a privilege to see them. That's why I have basic bitch musical taste, because I only saw like the tippy top ones, like the big famous ones in Evita. I didn't see it on stage till I was in college. I saw the movie and listened to the albums. So, okay, I have. Do you mean the movie or do you mean the actual musical Anastasia? Because I do have potentially controversial feelings. Yeah, I mean the guy from the movie. He's Filipino. It was the Blues Clues in the City one or something. I should look up his name. It's not the original Blues Clues guy. It's the Filipino Blues Clues guy because the whole cast of this musical is Filipino. He's a really good singer and a really good actor. He plays the revolutionary guy who goes against the fascist regime and gets assassinated for it. He was really good. He made me cry. Very good. Um, What are some of my comfort books or nostalgic memories from reading? Into Thin Air, I've read that so many times. It's my favorite book by John Krakauer. In general, a few of the high altitude mountaineering books have been rereads for me. They bring me comfort, which is so weird. I think that's something about the setting and how I am like it's like I'm there and it's like, I don't know, like psychologically sucked in. But like from actual childhood, I think the two that I've gone back to, the Westing game and The Giver, are just always going to evoke something for me. And even though I read it as an adult, the Hunger Games still slaps hard. Oh, man. These are two I haven't seen in person. I mean, I've seen like a high school production of Grease, but that's when I've never seen a professional production of. And same with Matilda. I only watched it on Netflix, the movie. Oh yeah, because I'm always behind on the chat. This was the question. This was jumping in about the previous question about the visuals. Is it a brain to texting? Maybe talking out loud and making some voice memos could help you get started. That is a great tip. Because like it depends on like kind of the root of the challenge. I'm still like, oh, thank you. That's so nice to hear. Uh, I'll read this aloud for accessibility. For what it's worth, I loved Pretty Dead Queens in the process of grieving the loss of a mother. Yeah, that was a therapy book for me. I'm glad it. I mean, I'm not glad it resonates with anyone if it resonates with you for the same reason it does for me, because that means we're in the same terrible club. But yeah, I it was a cathartic experience writing that book, and like you write, we write books we read, and I had hoped that it would be meaningful to other people, so that's nice to hear. Um, some more stuff for writing visuals. For visuals to paper, I usually pick the most vivid scene and write a quick snippet. It's usually like a couple lines of dialogue, but it helps me get out of my head. That is a good tip. I know enough about this musical to know who you play because I did watch videos about it. That's really cool. Oh, yeah, I don't have the wherewithal to even think about streaming media, so you're good. I really should watch it. I love musicals. Oh, just like a demand for time thing. I still haven't watched Kiss of the Spider Woman, that movie. I think it's on Hulu now, so that's another one I want to see. I meant to see it in the theater because I try to go see all the ones that actually release to theater so I can support them making more musical theater. And I missed Kiss of the Spider Woman and Merrily in theaters because I was on deadline. I was like, oh, I'm failing. How do you stimulate your creative mind? Like run or have coffee? I definitely do. I like mindless activities personally. Like I use activities, so like washing the dishes or showering. And then sometimes walking, like my commute to work, like I'm doing something by rote, and then I can let my mind kind of like wander. I like to use that time that way to spark. Like when I'm stuck, especially, I will do the dishes or I will take a shower, and I will like think through the problem. I do that for life too. Like, my meal planning happens in the shower, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and cooking. I've been doing cooking now, and I like to like cook and like listen to an audiobook or brainstorm or whatnot. Like I like kind of regimented activity. And I also do drink a lot of coffee. That's like, that kind of stimulant. Which of your novels would you most like to adapt into a musical? I think Pretty Dead Queens could work because it's like a gothic noir. Um, though mind you, then you have like musicals like Rebecca that have like sordid history, but I feel like tonally you can do something with that, or do like, or the Ivies, and it could be like Heather's or Mean Girls style. Though, oh God, Mean Girls, that's one I did not like that musical. I think the adaptations are so tough, um, as are the jukebox musicals, and like the ones about an artist's life, which I guess are jukebox musicals. There are so many of them and so few of them work. I have I have opinions. I have opinions. Um and what's so funny is I like everything about the Mean Girls musical, like on paper. I love Jeff Richmond, and several of the songs are great. I do not like the way they adapted it, though. It was not a good experience in the theater, and that's really the bar it has to meet. That's part of. I also, with Anastasia the musical, I have a problem with the book and the changes they made. Ask the person above, like, do you love the movie? Because the original animated movie, obviously, the stage musical just made some weird choices and changes to the book that didn't make it like as good as it could have been because the movie slaps so hard. Like I in the Dead of the Night is the best song, and I know they turned it into another song, which I do listen to, but how dare? How dare? Yeah. Okay, this is a good way to say it. It's like writing a book for a movie that doesn't exist. Yeah, but I guess you have to get over wanting people to read it to see how to interpret. Yeah. Um, I totally get that. So it's then it has to just, yeah, it's the thing that I have where it's like I'm almost psyching myself out because I visualized it so many times, and then it's never going to meet my own personal expectations. And I usually just when it's always, I always have something in the third act where I have had such a strong visual of it, then when it actually comes time to write it, I've learned to embrace it as a good thing that it can't ever possibly be exactly the way I visualized it, because then I have a lot of fun figuring out what it actually is. And I sometimes make some interesting choices by throwing kind of the script out, so to speak. It can be freeing. Um, this is a very specific question. The book I'm writing is reminiscent of the Hunger Games, so try to pub ever pick it up. The thing is with publishing, you don't know. Sometimes they want more of the same, and sometimes they want different. You can never know until you try, essentially. Um, yeah. And I personally think that, or dystopia is really hard. I like dystopia. I would like dystopia to come back around, but dystopia tends to not flourish as much when the world is on fire. Like there's like trends with that, and we're kind of in fascism and war right now, and like it's really bad. So I feel like right now people, like, dystopia is tricky. I've been hearing that like, it's really all about it, hyper escapist reads right now in the industry. And I definitely feel that on a level. That's why I wrote a frothy, ridiculous romance. Yeah. That doesn't mean no, though. It means try. Here, I've really been struggling with balancing my 9 to 5 and editing my novel. I'm thinking about my novel all day and then I'm stressing about work all evening. I would love a pep talk for writers with 9 to 5s. Well, okay, I'll answer as the version of me who was like exactly there and was pretty good at her job. Not that I'm not good at my job now. My job just isn't as demanding as it used to be. So, because my thing now is I like Oh, I can't get into, I don't mean to imply I don't do my job. My job is just less stressful than it used to be because my industry has changed a lot. So now I just have like I have achieved more balance by accident. But when I was really freaking stressed, I also had that impulse to really want to be in my head about my book at work, especially when I was doing my brainstorming on my commute in. And sometimes I would like sit down with my coffee and like actually do some writing like before I dove into my emails, like on the DL. I was like, God, I just have to get this out. And so I would just embrace those things and then make up the time. I would spend my lunch hours writing a lot of the time. But one thing I will say, um, that is worth doing in general, just for life. I don't believe in giving your work too much of yourself. No job really deserves that, or rarely does. I at least have a job where my job is my job. It is not my career. This is my career. I'm able to like think of that way, which has freed me a lot because when I started out, I didn't feel like that. I swallowed the millennial pill of like your job should be your ambition and your life and you should give it everything. No, I don't do that. I never take my work home with me. I mentally shut my brain down when I leave the office and they don't get any other piece of me. And that was actually one thing that was really hard with COVID and work from home to adjust to. And we're actually now RTO and it's like pros and cons because the pro is it's like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to completely turn it off again. Because the one thing with COVID and work from home is that you were available all the time and there was a lot more bleed. Um, but I'm now really back to my pre-COVID mentality, which is you don't pay me enough for me to think about this all night. My first job out of college was like a 24/7 thing and I burned out so hard. So I know it's hard. Um, Try to like create that separation where they hopefully you have a job where you can turn it off. I know there's some jobs where you can't, but I am very happy to have one where I can in fact be like, because the job I do is not rocket science, y'all. It's a cool job. I work in TV, a very boring part of TV, and that's why I like it. But that's the thing, nothing's going to burn down in TV. I don't work in the part of TV that is live and happening, so nothing is that important. And I love that. It enables me to have clear delineation. So my time is my time, and my time can be about writing and my projects. So um, but when I was in it, and my job used like I used to have a lot of that stress. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I just stayed up really, really late. I did my writing stuff really late at night. I was tired all the time, and I didn't see my friends very often. And I did a lot, way too much of this YouTube channel. So some of it is that something has to give. If you're struggling with the balance of space, and something has to give, and it usually can't be the job that pays your bills, so it usually has to be something else. Yeah. Yeah, it's just wild the money that goes into it and the attention to detail. I mean, even like I have a season package to the LA Opera too. I go see opera now too. And one interesting thing about LA Opera is that we don't really do original productions, which I was like, huh. But it means it gets a lot of transfers, which are essentially like they were the people who did like the designing work were in New York at the Met, or they were in San Francisco, or they were we get a lot of English National Opera and National Theater productions. And the one that I saw last night or the other night was Philip Glass's and Cotton, I think is how it said, the Egyptian Pharaoh. And it was like art come to life and like the work they put into the costumes and the wigs and the lighting, it was just bonkers. Like I could see the money and the attention to detail and the care, and it was just so like the reason I like treating myself to live theater is I like the art of it. I love that these like professionals who are just at the height of what they do are doing a thing they love, and then I get to watch them do that thing that they love. And especially like with singing, I'm so jaded on all the auto tune, and just the way that music is manufactured nowadays, and how like you don't like, I sound like such a hipster, but like something's been lost in the sense that you don't necessarily need vocal training anymore to the same degree that you used to, because the way music is produced and manufactured and with auto tune, and like it's literally built into mics, so even live someone could be tuned and fixed. And you don't have to be a great singer anymore in a lot of cases to be a singer, except in live theater and on Broadway. You absolutely do. There are no shortcuts. You can't shortcut it. You have to be at the top of your vocal game. And I have just seen and heard some insane singing, and I like that it's imperfect, that there can be warbling on notes. I've seen people mess up. So I saw like I've seen Patti LuPone live now twice, and I love the imperfection in her hyper trained voice. I mean, it's barely imperfect because she's really really good, but I love to hear the real human voice in it, and you can hear the training. And so that's why like I love going to live theater, because like, and like with Broadway, they're built different, man. They're built different. Like a truly trained person is built different. It's crazy. I love it so much. Yeah, I like people at the height of whatever they do. I really appreciate talent and artistry. So let's see. I'm trying to find. I don't see what this was a response to, but there was a 2017 musical based on the 1956 and 1997 films. I'm wondering what this is in reference to, because I'm just curious. I must have missed the previous comment. Oh yeah, Anastasia. Okay, so you do mean the stage musical. The thing is, the 1956 movie and the animated movie, the 1996, those are not actually like, they're not related. They're based on the same perversion of the myth, but like the animated film is considered its own thing because they would have had to pay the 1956 one the rights. Yeah, I just have issues with the changes with the book decisions that they made. Although I don't even remember them all anymore. I just remember when I was seeing them, especially because I'm pretty familiar with Soviet history. Um, I remember side-eyeing it. Oh, and I know why they made the changes they made, because of like the ridiculous, almost fairy tale-esque lore attached to Rasputin, which is not really based in reality. Um, but that's what makes it so fun, I guess. Um, yeah. Uh, you're making me feel old again. I was in my mid 20s when that came out. You know why I read The Hunger Games? This is my like slight hipster moment. I met Lev Grossman, the author, but he worked for Time magazine at the time, and he was one of the first like book critics to read The Hunger Games. And I met him. It must have been a Harry Potter convention, but and I asked him if he had read anything really good recently that he recommended I read, and he was like, "You have to read this new book called The Hunger Games," and that's why I read it. So maybe I said mid 20. I might have been 22 or 23. I was pretty fresh out of college, but yeah. I'll have been on sub for a year on April 4th. I've made it through editorial and gotten the dreaded rejections at acquisition meeting stage a few times now. Any advice? That has also happened to me. That happened to me. Well, so once it happened to me, and I didn't even know until like after the fact. This is with my very first agent and my very first book. I had no clue I'd gotten that close until after the fact, which I guess from an anxiety perspective is good, but it sucks because it was like, oh, single tier. And then it happened to me on Brightly Burning, which obviously did sell. So like I'll say, like, I mean, it's a very good sign to go to get through editorial. Um, it's not great to be rejected at acquisitions. It also happened to movies, actually. Come to think of it. Um, because as you know, it only takes one yes. I don't have advice in the sense of like, other than it's kind of the same book taught, of like keep on keeping on. Yeah, how to not let it affect your mental health. It's almost impossible. It's going to eat your brain. I've been there. I will be there soon. I'm already acting like a crazy person and trying to keep my crazy from my agent. Like I've been just saying to friends, like, how do I not vomit crazy onto her? I'm not even on sub yet, and I'm already feeling it. Um, because and it's so much because I haven't been on submission since 2019, and I know it's worse now. Because so your experience is so common now, and it's so heartbreaking because like you get so far, you've got something, and that this book is good enough. And then I've been hearing from so many people, it's so much harder in the room now, because they're not taking many risks right now, and it's all the P&Ls, and it's very like rigid. Um, Are you writing something new? I know that's like the classic advice that I'm not always good at following, but it does help to focus on something new, even if that's kind of like the worst thing too. I will say also, I know so many people where long sub is like the new normal now, and people are still selling books, even if it's taking a long time and they've had rejections. Um, Are you getting any actionable advice from any of the passes? Does your agent have a thought or an opinion? Because like it's that it I think focusing on positive, actionable forward action helps until you can't, and then it's so what's the next thing? Meaning I like always focusing forward. That helps me not spiral as bad. But also another piece of advice is sometimes if you're feeling despair, you have to feel the feelings. It's just pulling yourself out of it eventually. So surrounding yourself with friends who get it, both who have been on sub and who haven't. I think it's helpful. Like you want people who understand what you've gone through, but having people who aren't actually actively in it or haven't been in it recently is helpful too. Because there's nothing like a writer trying to help and saying the exact wrong thing to you because they just can't quite understand your perspective, especially if it's someone who has sold a book. So like I like make sure you're talking to different people. Remove yourself from people who do make you feel bad about yourself. Not completely, not permanently. Like don't torpedo friendships, but it is 100% valid to remove yourself from situations, because sometimes when we're in like these publishing situations, some people are just going to make you feel worse, and they don't mean to. It's not intentional, but yeah. Um, Especially because like people often will try to make you feel better by bringing up their own experience. I mean, I just did it in this answer, and sometimes that isn't helpful. It actually makes it worse, unintentionally. I will continue noodling on this, and if you respond more in the comments, we'll bounce back into this. So, favorite TV show at the moment was just The Traitors. I was so freaking sad for season 4 of The Traitors. Rob Roush forever. The finale was amazing. I have such strong feelings about what a poor sport Candace is. Hopefully, there are no Real Housewives of Potomac people here who are going to come and get me. I said what I said. I genuinely liked her and liked her game until it all went to shit. Rob Roush forever. That was a great season of television. Um, Survivor 50 currently, like since Traders just ended. Great premiere. I have really struggled to get into new era. I like classic era and like new era. What's middle era called? There's 3 eras of Survivor. I like the first one and the middle one, though the middle one has some duds. But new era, I've really struggled with, and this feels like a nice balance in terms of casting. So like currently it's Survivor, and because Traders, well, and obviously 911, obsessed. That is technically my favorite show right now, fully sat. So we're like on such a good run of episodes, but canon 2026. Come on. Once I have that, I am going to catch up on the pit. And I know I will be obsessed with that as well. So it's just, we are eating for good TV right now. The fall was Pluribus and The Diplomat and Heated Rivalry. And now like the spring is like really, really good. I'm so like insane insane about 911. I'm going to two fan con events for 911 in March and May. I'm like fully insane. So I'm not going to you just let me know. I'm in my mind. So we'll cool as possible. Um, connection lost. Huh. It says reconnecting. Hopefully you can see me right now. Right, the message way. Did I disappear for a minute? Hopefully not. Hopefully we're still here. Um, any advice for reestablishing a writing routine after taking an extended break? This is a great question because I've done this multiple times. I'm like the master of like not writing for months and months and then like guilting myself into writing again. Just pick a day to start and do the thing. Just like throw yourself into it. I'm getting a connection lost reconnecting message again. I'm going to scroll down to the end of the chat. Can you still see me? It's choppy. Thank you, Han. Ugh. Commenting. Hopefully I'm back. This is, I don't know if it's my internet or if it's the streamer I'm using. Hopefully we're okay. So reestablishing a writing routine after an extended break. So just commit yourself, pick a day to start, but also set yourself up for success. I like routine and habit. So like I pick that day and I also like look at my weekends going forward. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write every single weekend. And I like kind of visualize in my mind kind of how my schedule's going to look. I also kind of rearrange any parts of my life I need to rearrange to like free up some space. I do make sure I have enough runway of what I'm writing because I am a discovery writer. So make sure whatever you're going to throw yourself into, you have enough of it planned and enough enthusiasm for it that you can kind of throw yourself at it. At least for me, that helps to like pick up momentum. And then I'm relentless with myself until I feel that momentum spark. And then I can kind of ease off. I also guilt trip myself into writing by making plans with other people. And that helps me a lot personally. I haven't had to do this in a very long time. I haven't needed to do writing sprints or anything like that to motivate me, but that was in the past absolutely helpful. So that could also be something that would help, like joining a writing community and doing writing sprints. Yeah, In the Dead of the Night goes so hard. So hard. It is such a good song. Like Steven Schwartz, man. Yeah, musical villain songs go hard. They're like Ursula. I mean, mind you, The Little Mermaid just has banger after banger after banger, but like, come on, Ursula is the best part of that movie. Like, especially because she's like a mezzo alto, which is my range. I'm like, yeah, that was made for me. Thank you, villain song. Oh, I know we're catching up on chat. We're cycling around to topics. This is just how it goes. I'm a very visual person in general, so I want to build this amazing, beautiful work, but I have to do the story along, and I can't do that talking about trees. And I will also say, give yourself permission to navel gaze on a first draft. Write all the visual stuff that you want to. Just know that you have to edit a lot of it later. I let myself like literally chew scenery. I love to describe a house. I love dress porn and I let myself go ham in a first draft. But then when I'm editing is when I have to be pretty harsh with myself in terms of cutting. So, but I'm someone who gives myself permission to overrate. That helps me. Is there a genre you haven't written in yet that you are keen to try out? Well, until recently, I would have said romance, but here I am. Um, yes, yes. I think I mentioned on the last stream. I have had in the back of my mind, I want to write a historical mystery um, set in East Germany. I've wanted to write that for like 25 years. I will someday. It would be like a novel with a capital A, capital N, but like I want to write something like really clever. Not clever, that sounds like gimmicky, but like a smart book. I want to write like quasi literary fiction, a literary historical mystery someday, should my abilities meet my ambitions. Yeah, they made it more historically accurate, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that choice as a musical. Yeah. Yeah, so dystopian romantasy seems to be kind of finding a footing. And dark romance in general, but like dystopian as it was at like the heyday of dystopian, I don't know. But I like dystopian and I'm always pro dystopian coming back. But I am definitely seeing trends of escapist fiction right now. Um, just yeah, music. Yeah, 60s to 80s for music. Oh, 80s. Yeah, that's actually an era I also really, really like. Though I have a fondness for like 2000s, 2010s European electronica. And a lot of that sounds like older music, so that kind of fits. Oh, yeah, the classic musicals, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. I love all that kind of stuff. Um, Oh, this for the submission. In the wise words of Lady Gaga during a Star is Born press tour, there could be 100 people in a room and 99 of them don't believe in you. All you need is that one person. True. How do you transition out of character thought without it feeling jarring? I don't know if I have a ready answer for this. Like, I know that I do this, but I think in terms of like an off the fly, I'm gonna have to think about this. This is essentially kind of asking about transitions. Well, I guess I can say it's about pattern and rhythm. One easy way to kind of weave in and out is dialogue, and kind of have the internal character thoughts as like patter in between dialogue to kind of break up and, temper what otherwise might feel like a breakneck scene. Like I love kind of those little pauses to get inside the character's head. They're almost like reaction shots. Um, I guess otherwise it's just kind of like about rhythm of like how long have you been in the character's head and what is the like pin of the thought and what is the next thing that needs to happen. Um, yeah, I am what? And I'm assuming this is hand. I mean, it might not be, but yeah, I am what? What am I? What did I say? Um, it helps to hear other authors also go a bit nuts on sub. I'll send me a message. Message me on Instagram. I'll be in hell soon, so that'll be great. And I also I know some other people on sub too, so I might be able to connect you. Yeah, that's what really it helps because it is a very specific kind of insanity. We are crazy people. I have because my book is meta. It's about an author, and I just rewrote my first chapter, and I wrote a line where I was like, this is too accurate. Let me pull it up because I'm quite proud of it. It's about author anxiety and how we're crazy people. Um, and I wrote it kind of inspired by the fact that I'm trying to keep my crazy from my agent. I was like, so I'll just lampshade it by putting it in the book, and so she'll understand me better. Um, let's see, where is the line that I liked a lot? Do. You're like, wow, this is so interesting watching you look at it. Oh, here we are. Um, because I have her basically someone asks her a question and she's crazy and she projects like peppiness. And I wrote uh she did her very best to keep her tone light and bright, exuding happy, grateful author. Never let them see your disappointment. It spoiled the illusion that authors were well adjusted, normal, professional people rather than pathological anxiety gremlins. Because that's what we are. We're crazy. We're crazy. I don't think I've ever met an author who isn't an anxious mess. Oh, yeah, your one friend sold in a week. We all have that friend. It's like, I love that for you. Yay. Of course, we all want to be that person. So like I don't I still am hoping that will be me someday. I hold on to hope. Maybe. Yes. I am also very bad at keeping up with shows. I don't download to load them to my phone, but I go, I'm gonna watch that. Like Diana the musical, 5 years later, 6 years later, haven't done it. It's just I'm so overwhelmed sometimes by the amount of like choices we have. But also I just kind of weave in and out of hyperfixation. So I kind of go with what I'm in the mood for. It's like I'll watch it eventually, hopefully. I tend to also rewatch things I know I already like, which is helpful and not helpful. Um, so, okay, great question. Are you secretly Julie Soto? Because she's been trying to get me to watch this show. Have you watched the current Interview with the Vampire adaptation? I'm insane about it, and the third season's coming out in a few months. You also mentioned this on a previous live stream. This is on my list to watch, and I haven't watched it yet. I watched the first episode, and I liked it. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't like I didn't become obsessed. And I think at the time I was trying to watch that, I got pulled into something else. That's the thing. It's like the attention economy. I know I will watch it, especially if there's a new season coming out, and then it's easier for me to like binge watch them. I also don't have AMC, their app. I think the earlier seasons are now on Netflix, but they weren't at the time. So like that one time I watched an episode, where was I? I was somewhere else where someone had it, so I was able to watch the pilot that I previously did not have access to. So that was part of the issue there is just kind of the landscape of TV. Um, oh, from the video. Okay, yeah, or is this from before? Yeah, I don't know. I'm so back on behind on comments. I'm great. You're like, wow, she's a chaotic gremlin. Yes, I am. Um, well, I love Scrivener. Scrivener's the best, but you have to like it. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Oh, thank you. I enjoyed the bitter end. The ending was exactly what I love in a mystery with that added little twist. What inspired it? The book or the added little twist? What's so funny is a lot of people don't like that added little twist or they don't understand it. I can tell when they don't understand it because they'll say things like, we're like, you can't just like invalidate the whole mystery at the end there. I was like, it doesn't. You didn't understand it. It's an extra. Because those are some of my favorite little twists where it's like a recontextualization. I like that a lot. Yeah. I'll tell you what inspired the whole book, and then I'll tell you or try to figure out remember how I can talk about what inspired the twist in a not totally spoilery way. The whole book was literally just I love that trope, and I was like, I want to write it. And I was challenging myself for how to do it my way in a way that felt like fresh and in a way that I wanted to explore it and make it work for YA. Um, in a way that like scratched my brain. For the twist, what I should have a good answer for this. Well, part of what inspired it was just one of my favorite ways to kill someone. Like I found out that you could kill someone the way that ends up in the book. I was like, oh, that's cool. I should use that. And it was like figuring out how to use it. And I was like, oh, that would be fucked up. But that's kind of where that came from. And I just generally, I like in a thriller, I like shades of gray to characters and characters who aren't what they seem, and kind of subverting expectations, I guess. And no one gets to be happy in my thrillers, so well, except Pretty Dead Queens. Some people were happy at the end of that one. It's an exception. Um, would it be worthwhile to try and write on this side those over the top description to get it out and then do a little description? Yeah, I anything that works for your process to kind of get it out of your brain and into a process is good. Do whatever could work. Um, oh, we have Scrivener haters in the chat. I support you. Like it's not for everyone. And in fairness, like I use the most bare bones features of it hilariously, and occasionally I haven't been able to figure something out and I've wanted to throw my computer at the wall. It is definitely a little annoying sometimes. Um, oh yeah, I said going to the cons, and then you said crazy, so pick your point. Yeah, yeah, I am really crazy. Um, my favorite twist in a mystery is the endings in the Clue movie. 10 out of 10 would love to write a book like that. Yeah, I love that kind of thing where it could be this and it could be this, but it's this. Oh, I'm glad you liked it because I was like, I like it too. And I've definitely come across some reviews that like just I can tell they didn't understand it because I'm like, no, that's definitely not what I wrote. It's not what happened. And I'm like, wait, was it just not clear? But then other people get it. I thought it was clear, but okay. I've caught up with chat. Yay. Um, I am closing in on an hour and a half. I think I can go 2 hours. I think going 4 would be unreasonable, especially because it's late at night. So does anyone else have like questions or like topics they want to like talk about? Um, ev okay, what are we? No! Everyone bully Alexa and tell her she can't go to a convention and not get photo ops. No, don't. You can't make me. I don't, I'm gonna die. It's too embarrassing. They'll see me. I don't want to be perceived, let alone, my anxiety. I'm caught up on the chat. I think we should throw me a party. Like, that never happens. It makes the stream so weird. Wow, you should go to bed. Are you East Coast? Probably. Yeah. You say that. It costs $200 that I haven't spent yet. So, just saying. We'll see. We'll see what you're able to bully me into. Mm-hmm. Sure, sure. I'm still like working on what my outfit's gonna be. I ordered some new clothes from Banana Republic. I want to look as cute as humanly possible if I am to be perceived. And the jury is still out on the level of perception that might happen of me. So by people who exist on the television. So yeah. Um, did I have pre-existing thoughts on indie bookstore pre-order campaigns that I would have updated thoughts on? Like, remind me of me. Um, I yeah, did have yeah. I don't think I have controversial thoughts about pre-order campaigns. I will say in general, pre-orders are down across the board. Even like really famous authors are struggling to get them, and a lot of publishers, in a good way, are shifting focus from pre-order drive to post-release promotion, and they should promote books after they come out. What a novelty, which is actually better in my opinion in terms of the pressure that's applied to us, because pre-order campaigns are just down across the board. Don't be proud of me yet. Yeah, The Traitors was so good this season. Can I just like convince everyone to watch The Traitors? Because it's the dumbest show on television, and I love it with every fiber of my being. And it's like intensely stupid, and that's a compliment. So, oh, you're much more annoying, persuasive in person. Okay, we'll see. I am kind of weak, but I'm also cheap and have a very like low embarrassment threshold. So we'll see. We'll see how cute I feel. Okay, in my defense, it's Banana Republic factory outlet money because I'm still too cheap to spend like real Banana Republic money. So my like little like fun discovery. So because I'm also still losing weight. It makes no sense for me to invest in clothing right now. Like I'm not gonna lose like a ton of like I lost a lot of weight. I talked about this previously. So I'm in this weird thing where I've been buying clothes because I have no clothes that fit. Like I've had to throw out most of my clothes. Um, but I don't know, like now that I'm in straight sizes, clothing is tailored again. So I Banana Republic factory outlet. It's basically constant sales and like it's yeah. So like this is from Banana Republic and it does technically fit, but I've only had it for like a month and it's already kind of loose because I've already lost some inches since I bought it. Like that's kind of the world I'm living in right now. So yeah, Banana Republic factory always on sale. So I also recently bought some unique vintage on sale. I love a deal. Okay, so yeah, my thoughts on pre-order campaigns in general were that they weren't worth you going insane, driving yourself insane to do them because the ROI generally is not there, especially for debuts. You can still do it because sometimes it's just like a psychological balm. It's something you can do that you can control that makes you feel better. But the one time I did an involved pre-order campaign, it was just so many moving parts and it took a lot of bandwidth. And it was also just partly bad timing. It was the first book that came out after my mom died. I was just not really functional in general. And it was more stress than it ended up being worth. Um, and it didn't really make a difference in my sales. And so after that, I haven't really done them and I haven't regretted it. But I also like recognize that especially if you're a debut, like it's one of the only things you can control and you should do the things that anything that brings you comfort, you should do, but also then don't feel bad if it doesn't do what you want it to. So meaning it's just like be careful of your expectations is my advice because it is so hard to get people to pre-order. Um, yeah, I love the indie store thing. That's a smart way to do it. Sometimes by making it hyper local, that can definitely be better because it's more relationship driven and supporting a store, and you can kind of use that angle, and they can help you with the fulfillment. I did all the fulfillment by myself um, from my apartment, and then COVID happened. It was such a time of life. Yeah. I'm just generally not good with mailing things. Don't make me like take a series of steps to execute. Like I can, but it requires a level of brain space that is I burn out a lot. So I promise I'm functional. Yeah, so I'm also weird about having my photo taken. So that's why this is like Han has their work cut out for them because I'm a weirdo. I get very self-conscious about having my photo taken, having taken so many photos where I look awful. Um, I and I know it's like me being self-conscious and like I have resolved. My mother was the same way. And the tragedy is because she refused to take photos, I have so few photos of her. So I don't do that. I do take photos, but I'm weird about like important photos with other people and I'm self-conscious about the way I look. Just such a gremlin thing to do. It's not healthy, it's not good, but that's where we live. So, um yeah, so I don't generally take photos with author celebrities. I have actually met a lot of celebrities and I don't take photos with them. So there's no proof. You don't know. You don't know who I've seen. Yeah. It was a big move for me. I there was a trader's photo op at work last week and I actually went and I participated even though I was anxious about it. I did a thing. So that's progress and growth. Oh, you have to watch it. Though you're in Canada, so I'm jealous of you because you get to watch Canadian traders, and I'm mad because we don't get that here. So I'm so sad. I want to watch Canadian traders. I heard that Venus from Survivor was on Canadian traders. Well, I'm missing out. So mad. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, Banana Republic, like full retail price is stupid bougie. I will say, even shopping the factory outlet, I pay attention to the materials. Like, I'm not paying $70 for polyester, 100% polyester. No. So like, and I've mostly done like, so this sweater, which is just, I bought it because I adore this color. And I'm wearing it any day that it's not 80 degrees, just so I can wear my sweaters. I think I got this for 25, maybe $30 because it was like a 50% off sale. I've bought some basics, like t-shirts that are $12. Like that I can justify buying something that's in my size. I got a pair of jeans and it's one of the best pairs of jeans I've ever owned. So I'm like, okay, can justify. I got one for $36. And then I've learned my lesson. So I have to wear talls and they sell out really fast. So I did suck it up and I spent $50 on a pair of talls in a lower size because I was like, if I wait for the higher sale for denim, I will never get a pair of talls be in the wash that I want because they sell out. So I'm like, okay, what I'm willing to pay. I bought a jumpsuit the other day, 100%, well, a cotton linen blend, with like 20% off. So I think I got it for like 50. And I'm like, if it fits me like a glove, I'm willing to spend $50 on that. And this is new me. 10 years ago, me would be like, you bougie rich monster. Yeah. But also like I'm trying to, even though Banana Republic is also fast fashion, everything we buy is really fast fashion. I've been trying to spend money on pieces made of real materials that will last because plastic fast cheap fashion is never worth it because it's so poorly made and it's so bad for the environment. Like I did buy those before and like not Shein, but I like fell for some of like the online companies and the quality that I got was so bad where I was like, spend $20 more to get something made of cotton. And so I've been trying to kind of find that balance now. But yeah, I gotta shop a sale because like I'm not spending $150 on a linen dress. Are you insane? Excuse you. Maybe some like if I ever get a bestseller, maybe I'll shop Banana Republic full price, but not today, Satan. So I'm still trying to figure out what brands fit me. I haven't been in straight sizes in like 20 years. So I don't even know who I am anymore. So I always wanted to wear Banana Republic when I was younger, but I was too poor and too fat. So now I'm living my dream. Yeah, it's the mind fuck of like, yeah, what even am I anymore? Who am I? What fits? I don't know. Ugh. Yeah, it's a weird problem to have. I have a lot of weird mental stuff about weight loss. This was about, health primarily, but you can't divorce aesthetics from intentional weight loss. Um, yeah, it's it's mentally weird. Um, I'm doing a lot of unpacking, but I'm prepared and in a good place to do that unpacking. And I knew that before I started. I had avoided any form of intentional weight loss for many years while getting my shit together. And when I started this, I was like, it's going to get psychologically weird. I'm getting to the point where it's getting psychologically weird because now people are being nicer to me for the first time in like a very long time. Like I've gone from being invisible to being visible in a very obvious way again. And I'm having to process that. It's people literally don't treat you like a person when you're big. And I knew that psychologically. I was aware, but I wasn't aware to what degree. Especially as a woman. Um, Men offer me seats on the bus on a regular basis now. I'm like, I'm good, but I'm glad you see me as a person again. I mean, am I glad? I don't know. Complex emotional things. Especially because I've struggled with weight my entire life. It just comes with a lot of weird, complex emotional stuff. Yeah. Yes. Is it normal to forget the plot and characters in your own book? I mean, while you're writing it, I'm hoping it's fresh, but stuff I wrote before, 100%. I forget all the time. I'm like, remind me, like, what did I write? Ugh. I don't envy people who write series. That's why they have to have series Bibles so they remember what the heck they wrote. I have not read For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. Should I check it out? My TBR is obscene and terrible, and I am constantly behind in reading. Um, I've been reading so much fan fiction the last couple of years that it has absolutely impacted how many books I've read. So guilty. How did you navigate having to evacuate your apartment during the fires last year with cats? Do you have a backpack carrier, or were you trying to handle hard carriers? Also, in CA and worry about it. It was really stressful and really scary, and I definitely need to think. So I have. I don't have a backpack carrier. I don't even think I could get these guys into a backpack carrier. Maybe my girl cat, she's small enough. I don't think Leo would fit, but I think either of them would really hate a backpack carrier. So I have one hard handle, one that's like huge. And also, so Leo, my boy cat, is giant now. When they were smaller, I could put them into one carrier. And now that's just not possible because he's a big boy. Um, he's a chunky boy. Like he's not fat. He's muscular. He's big bone. I try to exercise him a decent amount, but he's a big boy. So he had to have a whole carrier for himself, and then I had a separate carrier for her, a softer carrier. So her softer carrier, I was able to balance on top of my suitcase. We got so basically during the wildfires, I got a text alert from the city that said, I forget what the warning was called, like orange or something, and they said it was like a 15-minute warning. Well, no, it was, they didn't say you have 15 minutes, but they said this is an alert that there is a wildfire right by you and you might have to evacuate. You're on like high alert or something. Um, Within 15 minutes, I got the evacuation text. But when I got the first one, I started to pack. I basically was like, I have to go somewhere. I texted a friend who had already been texting about the wildfires. So um, there was someone set a house on fire very close to me, and we were watching, like, we were aware of that. And then someone, so the fire by me was arson, fun fact. Um, that kicked off. Um, and basically, my friend was nearby and had said she was probably going to evacuate, even though the house fire wasn't technically by her. They were all uncomfortably close. And the day before, there had been a fire off of Sunset Boulevard that was uncomfortably close. It was all really like bad. So she was like, because she had animals, and she was like, just to be safe, because in the canyons, I'm going to go to my girlfriend's place. So I already knew that she was circling, like leaving where she was, and she's close to me. So mitigating, complicating factor. I don't drive, which, trust me, is real bad in an emergency situation and definitely came up. Um, but so I started throwing, well, actually, the first thing I did, because I knew that if there was actually something that happened with like any fire alarms, that I would not be able to get my cats. I have since corrected this problem, but at the time I had a couch that didn't go all the way to the ground, and they had like torn the liner and would hide inside the couch. And if there are loud noises, my cats would hide under my couch, which caused me so much anxiety about emergencies. So thankfully, the text we got wasn't loud and there was no like alert alarm that went off. And I was like, I'm putting them in a cat carrier right now while I have them in sight and they are not hiding. So that is the first thing I did. And then while they were in their carriers, I packed. I was like, and I texted my friend and she said, give me 5 minutes. This is such a good friend. She texted her text chain of friends that she knows, because lots of people were evacuating. And she got a friend of hers who was heading in my direction to pick me up. I got a ride from a stranger who's just a friend of a friend, and my friend is amazing. She's like, "You can come to my girlfriend's place. You like bring the cats." Like, so I ended up in my friend's girlfriend's apartment with my two cats, the girlfriend's cat, a tiny dog. No, yeah, no, there was, yeah, a tiny greyhound dog. Someone had a turtle. There were a lot of animals, and we all were just in her apartment, and I slept on the couch. It was so freaky. And like from her place, I could see the Runyon fire. It was so scary. So I didn't get any good footage because I actually like I evacuated. So when it happened, like I do have people I know here. Like I have a neighbor who I talk to all the time, and he has a car. His wife took the car, so he was also stranded, and so I couldn't get a ride from them. I asked him for help. He helped me carry the cats. He carried one cat and I carried the other with my suitcase, and I walked a mile to where the friend of a friend could pick me up because my street was completely blocked off. Um, it was crazy, and there was ash in the air, and it was burning my eyes. It was wild. I was God bless the LAFD. They put that fire out in a couple of hours, and we were so lucky there were no winds that night. That doesn't always happen here. Hundreds of thousands of people live here. I live in a hyper high density neighborhood. Um, Hundreds of thousands of people would have lost their homes. Like that fire was so close to all of these high-rise apartment buildings. Like I probably shouldn't share anything about where I live, but I'm not very subtle about it. But I live in an area where to track me down, you'd have to parse through hundreds of thousands of people. Oh, good luck. I'm in a high density area that covers a couple miles. Um, and the fire was so close. It was crazy. Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, now I have a new couch that the cats cannot hide under. And they were very affronted the first week I had this couch. They were trying to get under it. I was like, no, you have no more escape. If anything happens, you can't hide so that I can put you in a carrier and I don't have to worry about you in a fire situation. Um, I have been doing strength training for separate reasons, but the good news is now I have the strength to carry both of those carriers because my fat cat is really heavy. It's very scary. Yeah. Maybe I should get a backpack carrier, but I think my girl cat would murder me if I put her into a backpack carrier. But yeah. Let's see. Scrolling chat. It was a very long story. It was very dramatic though. Oh, and so like truly from the first warning text to the evacuation was 15 minutes. That's how fast the fire moved. And I had just taken a photo of the sky like 5 minutes before the fire started. And like the difference from, oh, actually, no, I didn't know at the time the fire had already started. And I took a picture. And when I looked on the Firewatch app to when it was started, I was like, I inadvertently like caught a picture that definitely showed like some of the ash and smoke in the sky. Didn't know. Thank God I'd already eaten dinner. Oh, and like to jinx it, I was watching an episode of 911 when it happened. Yeah. Spooky. I was also watching an episode of 911 when a fire alarm went off in my building. Ruined Bobby death for me. Yeah. Okay, I know we're back on this. Like, I know you keep saying that, but I am an anxiety gremlin who doesn't want to be perceived by 6 foot tall hot men from television. I don't, you might be able to manipulate me into it, but I'm just feeling really anxious right now. Perception is scary. Yeah, I know. I really want to watch Canadian Traders. I'm genuinely so jealous. I will be in Vancouver in May, but only briefly in an airport. I wonder if I could find a way to watch it. And I will be back in Vancouver in September, and maybe my hotel will have TV and I can watch it. I must watch Canadian Traders. Oh. So I technically went from zero jumpsuits to now I have two jumpsuits. I bought one from Unique Vintage, and it's fits, but I'm still within the return window. I'm waiting. I'm really worried I'm too tall for it. So I ordered this Banana Republic one that actually comes in a tall size, and I'm going to see how I feel. The Unique Vintage jumpsuit, I love everything about it. I'm just worried that it doesn't fit completely. Tall girls will know what I mean. I'm debating the wearability of it. Or if I lose an inch on my hips, it might fit perfectly. I'm still on the bubble of whether it's a perfect jumpsuit. We'll see. Um, and then the Banana Republic one should hopefully fit in the leg area, wink, because it is tall. I was a little bummed that the Unique Vintage one didn't have tall sizes. I'm like, where's the love for the vertical people? We need special proportions to our jumpsuits. Thank you. Because otherwise it's like bad toddlers. Um, I'm trying to build a new wardrobe essentially from scratch, and it's so hard finding clothes that are cute, fit well, and are made well, breathable for hot air in Florida. Um, Luckily, we do have a dry heat in California. Don't hate me, but yeah, it's like, how do I even build a wardrobe? I don't know what I'm doing, especially because like as a plus size person, it's like this weird, and it's so funny because I remember before I started wearing plus size brands and I didn't like want to wear plus size brands, but then once I started, there was like such a comfort in it. So basically for 15 years, all I've worn is Torrid. And like once I figured out my Torrid size and my like silhouette, because they make the same clothes over and over again, just in different patterns. But like once I figured it out, it was like such a dependable brand and there was like comfort in that. Plus, my favorite thing about wearing plus sizes that I'm now remember now that I'm in straight sizes, I'm like, oh, I hate this. Thank you for reminding me. The thing about plus sizes that worked for me is because they have to have a lot more flexibility and given the fabric to fit a wider range of body sizes. Um, that everything was long enough on me. As a tall person, I struggled in straight sizes, and now I'm back to that hell. Shirts aren't long enough, dresses aren't long enough, jumpsuits do weird things to my crotch area. And I'm like, tall person problems. But in plus sizes, that is not a problem. Everything goes down to my knees. They're crop top. What's a crop top? I would never intentionally wear just not my style crop top. So now I'm like back to like, oh, this is the problem with tailored clothes. They're all made for women who are 5'5" and shorter. Not for me. Even though models are tall, they don't make clothes for tall people unless a brand has a tall size. And it's just like the choice now is overwhelming. There are so many clothing brands, and every brand, like, it's like the different kind of like vibe and aesthetic. Who am I? What am I? So I'm going for like, preppy classics with Banana Republic. It's feeling right because back in the day I did wear Gap and I wore like Old Navy, though now I won't wear Old Navy because the quality is just not good. Same thing. I used to buy a lot of clothes at Target, and these are just like Old Navy and Target because like I didn't have a lot of money when I was younger, and now I have like normal amount. Essentially, like I grew up lower middle class, so like it was always like enough of essentials but no extras. So like I just was never someone who shopped a lot. Now I have like I'm like considered middle class in Los Angeles. For the first time in my life, I'm considered middle class, which is really weird for me. It's never happened before. But so now I'm shopping for clothing like a middle class person, which means I have choices. It's very weird. And like for years I would just wear things from Target or Old Navy, including as a plus size person, and just accept that they didn't quite fit and that they looked good enough, but not great. And so now I'm like, I can actually buy tailored clothes, like semi, like hopefully I need more tall sizes, but it's just like weird. Like, who am I? What do clothes say about you? What do they mean? So, oh yeah, because I'm always behind in the chat, like for my comment. Yeah, it's really, really weird. I'm mostly prepared for it. Yeah, like being nice feels almost worse. Yeah, it's almost like a slap in the face. And I'm incorporating this into a book I'm working on because I'm like, let's process feelings through writing. But like, it's almost like I know that I had value as a human being before. I really did dislike myself fat. I'm still fat, and I don't use fat as a pejorative. That's been part of my deprogramming from diet culture and like body positivity. Not deprogramming from body positivity, embracing body positivity. Not having like moral judgments of bodies. I didn't dislike my body, um, but like I know I had value. I know I still have value. I know I'm the same person, but like perceived value. And it makes me so sad and upset that like I guess I didn't have value before to other people and now I do. And like what does that say about us? Um yeah, and of course we all have to be mindful of our own internalized fat phobia as well. I'm definitely mindful of that. Like something I struggle with is seeing photos of myself and thinking thoughts about myself where I'm like, don't do that. Like that's you and you liked that person and yeah, it's jarring to see a side by side, but like be nice to yourself for Christ's sake. It's just it's really interesting. It's weird. Um I don't have many photos with my mom because I love taking them and I forget to be in them. I have a bit of that syndrome as well. I will always volunteer to be the camera person. I love taking photos, and honestly, respectfully, I'm very good at it. Part of it's I have a good eye, but also part of it's my height. Always have a tall person take your photos. You're going to get much better angles. I take when random people stop me on the street and ask me to take pictures with their iPhones, they always go, "Oh my God, this is so good." I'm like, "Thanks, I'm tall and I like framing." But yeah, I'm very bad at being in photos as well, or I can be very bad at being photos. My disease is doing things socially and actually living in the moment, which is a good thing, but then forgetting to take any photos. And so there's no, like, I have entire friendships. There's no physical evidence that I know people or go places or do things. Um, which on the one hand is like good because there's like a pureness of those relationships and moments. But on the other hand, like there's certain friends of mine, including like author friends, where I'm like, there is no proof that we know each other. We have never taken a photo together, even though we have absolutely spent time together. And isn't that funny? If both of us aren't photo people. So there's some purity to that, I suppose, but it's also like, huh, okay. Oh yeah, RIP. I have not allowed myself to get fully sucked into the heated rivalry fan fiction. Um, Partly because I'm still on a DCU train, though I'm cooling on the DCU train. I've been like I've been in like a weird DCU fic reading mood. But yeah, you have four cats, two of them actively watching this live stream with me. Yay! Your fuzziest fans. Anything can be cat TV when the cat is watching. Yes. My cats love to sit because I have like a pretty like good like coffee. I have a coffee table that's a TV stand, but like meaning there's a good space between the TV and the end of the table. And my one Bronte loves to sit center, usually when she wants something from me, mind you, and just she blocks the subtitles. And I watch everything with captions. And I'm like, sweetie, I can't see. She does not care. She's just like, I'm the TV now, is what she's thinking. Um, yeah. Well, so my friend pet sits for someone that she used to work for, and it was her boss's turtle, technically, former boss's turtle. So she had to evacuate with all of the animals. Um, so yeah, there was a turtle. My cats had never seen a turtle. They were like, "What is this?" They were like poking their nose in the little box when they weren't terrified of being in a strange place. They were very terrified. But they survived their first dog encounter. They'd never met a dog before. And of course, it was like an elderly greyhound who was half blind, but you know, miniature greyhound. So yeah, I was so grateful to have somewhere to go that my friend like mobilized for me like that because I'm decent in most crises, but that was a crisis I had not anticipated. And when transportation is required, I kind of went into panic mode. I was like, ugh. So she's a real one. She's great. I named a character after her in my book. Not the first time I've named it. There's a different character inspired by her in Pretty Dead Queens, but I gave her that character her sister's name instead of her name. So now she's technically in two books, kind of in a way. So friends. Yeah, California is a strange place. So that said, like what was so crazy about those wildfires, unprecedented about those wildfires, I definitely invited, I guess, karma on my ass. Um, we've had a lot of fires here multiple times. They never reach this part of the city. I'm in the city, like I'm in the sprawling metropolis words of LA. LA is a dense, sprawling city. Um, we don't. I'm not in the mountains. We don't really get fires here. That's the first time that's ever happened the whole time I've lived here. And I had my relatives were worried about me because obviously the Palisades fire was awful and raging, and Altadena was going. My relatives were worried. They're like, even in the past when like there's been fires by the Getty, I've had friends reach out, "Are you okay?" I was like, that is so far from me. I will be fine. If there will never be a fire here. Arson, arson, arson's happened around here twice now, actually. Um, yeah, that whole thing was wild, and a lot of it was arson. Yeah, so that was just unprecedented, and I wasn't worried at all, and then it happened like that, and it was really crazy. Like I said, I'm super thankful that there was no wind and that the LAFD are Our heroes. I would do a lot for the LAFD. I donated to them after that. I donated to the firefighter fund, and well, mostly because of 911. Now every time I see firefighters in LA, I look respectfully. Some of them are really cute. Yeah. I'm like, but I've heard firefighters are real players and that one should not date them in real life. So noted. I think I know what fires you're meaning. Yeah, it's crazy. So even before the day that I was actually evacuated, like our skies turned orange. It was the skies were crazy. Orange and dark and gray because of the winds. Oh no. I'm really fun when I drink, so this could be really dangerous. You know my Achilles heel. I hope the actors are drinking. That would be really fun. Probably not though. They're probably professionals. But yeah, I can get pretty decently soused. Oh. Oh, yeah, then you'll miss me. I'll be in Vancouver in late September, very briefly. But the thing is, because I am addicted to cruises, I am basically in Vancouver at least once or twice a year now. So cheers. I'm going to be back in Vancouver in 2027 because I'm doing another Alaska cruise. So, oh, that's a sponsorship I should have taken. I I should get a VPN. I know that I should do this, but do I? No, it sounds like work. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, with clothing. Yeah, like it's height. It's just different proportions. I have an incredibly long torso and comparatively short legs, which makes like finding fit with certain things just kind of like weird. It can make all sorts of things look weird on my body. I do have to buy tall pants because my thighs are kind of long, like hip to thigh, but my calves are short. So just my jeans always end up being like really weird proportionally. It's great. So like because my calves are short, I actually don't have a particularly long stride relative to being a tall person. I'm all torso. So yeah. How do you write dialogue that is actually interesting? That's a great question. Obviously, everyone in chat, if you've got great tips, throw them in here if you haven't already, so that we're not limited to just my perspective. Um, I'll tell you, a lot of the time, I will say things out loud. I'll talk out loud like a crazy person because there's like a pattern to spoken dialogue that you can kind of feel out. Um, be be careful with filler. You want to avoid like characters just shooting the breeze or like little conversational asides that don't actually perform a function. Well, we might do that in real life in a story that's kind of boring. I try to make sure like it doesn't always have to be like you still want to have some things that make the dialogue feel organic. Like some little things, but you want to make sure that the dialogue is serving the scene and the characters in the scene so that they're actually talking about something. It's just like entering a scene or late and leaving early. It's the same thing with dialogue. You want to like really hit on what the point is, so to speak, and not draw things out too long. Word choice, I mean, you definitely want them to sound like people who actually talk, but just like with any writing, like be thoughtful about repetition and echoes to kind of make the language crisp and specific. Um, I hope that helps. Oh yeah, with asking random people to take pictures, that's the other thing that makes me anxious. Like, oh, if I'm gonna like give this to someone and then I don't like the pictures, and then I'm just gonna be like all like deflated because like I wasted time and yeah. Well, I'm not going to leave the DC train, but I'm at a point where like I've read so much. I still have to read the fic you wrecked me. It's like a commitment, and I just haven't been in the brain space to read it. I've been kind of off dark fic, right? Like currently, not like intentionally. I think because I've been doing edits for my romance, I've been a little bit like fluff brained. So I know I still have more to read. I'm just like and also like I keep reading things I think have AI in them, and it's just it's tough. I know we've talked about DCU fanfic. Any DCU fic recs. I've said this before. The ones I'd be inclined to rec, I really can't rec in public. I will noodle on if there's anything I can rec that is pure enough that I can rec it publicly. I have pretty demented taste. That sounds really bad. I do like kind of dark dramatic fic. Um, I'll have to think. I'll think. Oh yeah, with California. California is the only state that can have a drought, flood, and burn all at the same time. Yeah. Oh, and then like in terms of it seeming like scary, like earthquakes are no big deal, and that's one thing that's been interesting moving here and adjusting to it because there is the fear. I've had a ton of like small to medium ones, and they were fine. Obviously, if the big one happens, I will be screaming my head off and I will be freaking out. But I'm not sure if it would convince me to move. We'll see. Yeah. You just kind of get used to it. And also, so much of living here is so nice. And all the pros outweigh any of the potential cons. It's like I don't want to like brag, but it's a great place to live. No regrets. But it's so freaking expensive, and like there's a privilege in being able to live here. Like I'm privileged that I have a job, that I got a job here, that I am able to work here, and it pays me a wage that enables me to live here. Now that took a long time. I was underpaid for like 12 years. And like I've got different income streams, but like I'm now at a like I'm mid-career. Like I'm at a point in my career where I'm pretty solid. But there's so many benefits to living here. Just like the lifestyle. There are cons, like our weird obsession with age. And I actually don't like the sun that much, which is hilarious living here. Um, but it does keep you healthy in a lot of ways. But like, God, our food culture is so nice. Like you eat so well, and just like access to fresh produce and whole foods, and like the movie culture is great. There's just a lot of creative culture here that I really like. So you kind of put up with like wildfires and homelessness and housing crises. I mean, I hate that. I mean, I'm as politically active as I can be here. Like I exercise my right to vote. I really care about like, electing the right people. And I mean, of course, we have so many issues right now in California, but it's still like a nice place to live. And I have a belief that we can work on our problems. We do have a lot of problems, but yeah. And especially in this current state in our country, if there are fellow Americans on here, like I feel I'm privileged to live somewhere where I feel relatively secure in the governing body of my state. And I wish that for more people, that safety and security, because there are so many areas of the country where like your rights are not guaranteed. And even here, they're not. And obviously, they, ICE and fascism. I mean, if you've watched my channel and don't already know my political alignment, what are you doing here? Fuck fascism. I am not pro-fascist. Go figure. Who is? Why would she be? So, yeah. You can't be as aware of Soviet history as I am and not have issues with authoritarianism, among other things. Not just Soviet history, other history that definitely fascinates me, but that's one that I'm very aware of. I lived in the former East Germany for a while. Yeah. And just like being a student of history. Like, yeah. Dialogue is tricky. I guess I can throw this in. Other media helps. Like if extensively studied how to person from other media, just ape it. That works really well as well. Am I weird for making dialogue part of some sort of action? I don't like it to feel stagnant. But I also pace when I talk to myself, maybe it's ADHD. I like to mix action and dialogue as long as it's grammatically correct. I actually think that can give something a real sense of texture and literally action. I like to not overly rely on dialogue tags. I love to break up dialogue with action tags to give a sense of place and texture to a scene. So I'm into this. I mean, I'm also someone who's likely to like fidget and do things while I talk. So, dialect tag. Minor conflict in dialogue that helps bring out the characters' personalities and different goals while also moving the plot along is what helps me. Characters arguing about the best way to do X. Exactly. Like think about tension and like the point of the dialogue exchange. Aw, good night. I will. I mean, I won't go to bed for like 5 hours, but I will end this stream soon because I'm a grown up who also my uh-oh, boy cat has arrived. It means he's going to start harassing me for second dinner. So all things naturally coming to an end. My cats eat so much, and I am a sucker. It start well because I got them during COVID, like quarantine and work from home. Like I feed them mini meals all day instead of like one or two big meals. They just get fed constantly in smaller portions. They're so spoiled. Um, yeah, my cats. Um, what is the stack of books in the back? Do you actually know the answers, Anna? And why were you up so late? That's the bitter end. That's my paperback. Is that a trick question? Um, you are up very, very late. Hello, Bobicus, if you're still here because I'm really behind on chat. Am I famous on the YouTubes? I wouldn't say I'm famous. I would say I'm mildly partially known. I do have a large YouTube channel, technically. Um, I don't update it as frequently as I should. You might not even be here anymore because I have one Twitch viewer, but it's been consistent. So I feel like it's one consistent person. Oh, okay. You do. Maybe you're not here. You're noticed now. I'm just very, very behind. Very chronically behind at chat. It's because if I'm doing like this, I can't. I swear I can chew gum and juggle at the same time. I can't do either of those things. It's like I get distracted. Yeah, I'm doing the multi-stream thing. Yes, I know I should just Twitch stream. I could foresee a point in the future where Twitch would be a really good place to do sprints if I do them again. But also, I technically am a gamer. I should probably learn to stream games. I play a lot of PC games. Um, I just haven't. I can't like decide like what I would stream. Um, yeah, but I play a lot of PC games. So, and that's what Twitch is for. I'm currently in the querying trenches and going nuts trying to keep busy. What are some things you would recommend to keep your mind off it? I'm reading, writing another book to keep you busy. So you're doing all the things, and I know it's really hard. Um, if you can, don't be on writer social media as much because I find that that's personally like a trigger point because people tend to post their highlights reels and their greatest hits. And nothing makes me more anxious than like, I mean, I like other people having good news, but it also makes me anxious if I'm waiting for good news or bad news. Find a new, like, start a new show, like, try to like get yourself obsessed with something fresh and new. So, oh, Xena, the stomach flu. I'm so sorry. That sucks. Bummer. Just gave your cats a midnight snack. Yeah. Their actual midnight snack every night, because again, I'm a sucker. Oh yeah, you are here. So you're my one Twitch person. Hi, welcome. Well, we'll get more of you. Um, so I got these two cats during COVID. So cat lore. Um, so I had two cats, Teddy and Peta. PETA died very suddenly and super tragically of cancer. It was awful and very traumatizing. And Teddy, I thought Teddy would go first. So I had Teddy for 15 years. I got him when he was like between 3 and 5, and he did then pass away like a year and a half later. But like at the time PETA died during COVID by myself in my apartment, the year after my mom died. Great time in my life. Very sad. I was prepared for Teddy. Teddy was not well. Like I started having like he had to have daily medication. Like he was an old man cat and he had a lot of issues. So I was mentally prepared for Teddy to pass away first because that cat was like 18, 19 years old and had heart failure, like heart problems and a bad thyroid. Um, and then PETA died really suddenly and PETA was only 11. And I was like, if Teddy dies, I won't be able to cope with the world. I will literally fall apart. I will be a non functional human. My mom is dead. I'm alone in my apartment. The world is on fire, and all I have is cats. and now I have one less cat. Um, and I like having two cats. There's a beautiful balancing force to having two cats. Um, and I was basically like, I know, like, it was not my plan to get more cats, but I was like, if Teddy dies, I will fall apart. I need to stop cats. I need like transition cats. So I got kittens. I got these two in June of 2021. But because I got them when I had old man cat Teddy was just living life, holding on to life. That beautiful old cat. I gave him whatever he wanted, any joy. He could eat whenever he wanted, and he struggled to eat. I would buy him anything. He got Temptations treats every single night. Kitty crack. You have cats, you know? They're so terrible. It's like McDonald's for cats. There's no nutritional value. They just put flavoring on them and they hoover them up. And you can give your cat a lot of empty calories giving them Temptations treats. You end up with very fat cats. But Teddy had a thyroid problem and couldn't keep any weight on his frame. He got as many Temptations treats as he wanted, and he got them every single night before bed. And I wasn't going to stop that. That cat was going to have his joy until the day he died, and he did. Um, so these kittens basically think it's normal to have Temptations treats every single night, and I am a sucker who cannot deprive them or say no because they'll cry and they know how to manipulate me. So these kittens get Temptations treats every night before bed. They get the sick dying cat treat every day because I'm weak. Now they get less. Like I would give Teddy a ton because he needed calories on his body, and at a certain point, he wasn't eating a lot. Um, so my little suckers have meat wrapped around their paws. In addition to all the little mini meals they get throughout the day, they get Temptations every single night before bed. So they love it when I go to bed, and they will start watching me. They're like, "Is it bedtime yet?" Because we want our snack. I'm a weak cat mom, basically. Yeah. I'll also just randomly buy them toys. Even though they already have a million toys, I'll buy them more toys. Yeah, why not? Well, it's the bitter end. I don't want to. I'm wearing shorts that I don't want you to see, so I can't go grab them. But imagine I'm holding up my paperback. I just don't. It's the bitter end. Yeah, it's my paperback. Hey, I'm impressed that you can juggle. I mean, I can chew gum, obviously, but yeah, I can't juggle. I just saw an opera where juggling was a major part of the opera. Did you know that the ancient Egyptians juggled? I do now because that's why it was part of the opera. It was really cool. Ah, you're not wearing your glasses, so it was not a trick question. I thought you were like throwing to me so I could promote myself. What are my favorite PC games? I really like Choices Matter games, so I'll play those immersive story games. It's like choose your own adventure. So like I've played the major ones like Life is Strange. My brain just blanked out. There are obviously way more than that. Hold on, let's open Steam. Let's see. Um, So Life is Strange is a major one. Oh, I talked about this on one of the previous streams, but I am obsessed with this indie game um, called Not for Broadcast. Highly recommend, not expensive. Buy it. If you like choices matter, like story games, and you have a PC. So this game is basically a dystopian simulator, but it's basically like it's a dystopian simulator and Soviet allegory that fully takes place in a TV station. You are a controller at a TV station. Well, technically, the controller calls in sick on the day of an election of a new political regime. This is British, so it's very UK, where like the political regime changes often, and like you vote for the party, but not the people. Like you vote in the Tories, and then it's the whole thing. Um, and you have to cover the booth, and it's your job to there are four cameras and you pick which shots are broadcast live to the nation. There's like a 3 second delay, and there are things that come up like people curse, and you have to like censor the broadcast. And you basically decide. It starts off where the political party that's just been elected is giving their victory speech, and you decide how it is aired to the nation, and you make decisions like, do you make them look good, do you make them look like buffoons, and you're making other choices as the broadcast is going on, like with the chyrons that are up when the newscasters are talking. And this is fully acted. It's all video. It's all live video. It's really impressively done. And there's 16 different endings. It gets really intense. Um, I've played it all the way through several times, but it is immersive and intense. I cried the first time I played it because your choices matter. Same thing with Life is Strange. Life is Strange made me cry like a dumb baby because like you make your choices and you do what you think is right, and sometimes really bad things happen, and it's just immersive, intense storytelling. And then I really like simulators and strategy games. So like I played the OG Sim City until it ruined itself. So now I play City Skylines. um, I played like Roller Coaster Kingdom and Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, like all those sorts of games. Tropico 6, I really like Tropico 6. Let's see, I'm looking at my Steam library. I adore, well, obviously, like Fallout. I love Fallout. Um, I started with Fallout 4 and I actually didn't like it at first. And Fallout 4 is one reason I think it was Pretty Dead Queens took so long to write, because I absolutely fell into a PC gaming hole and I did nothing but play Fallout 4 for like 6 weeks when I should have been writing a book. So now I kind of have a rule. I don't really play PC games unless I'm between books, because I will basically become obsessive about certain games for like a period of time, as one does. Let's see. Oh, and Hitman. I love Hitman. I have never liked first person shooters, but I got really comfy with those aspects of the Fallout games. So I've played Fallout 4, I've played New Vegas, and I've played 76. So that took some getting used to. I really didn't like it at first. I kind of hate the open world thing. I'm still not in love with it. I prefer a closed system, but it's fine. And so Hitman, I love the humor in Hitman. I think it's so funny how you can like plan elaborate accidents to kill people. But I like doing stealth mode. I really like snipering people. Sounds so dark. Um, I really enjoy Hitman. It's beautifully made by IO Interactive, and they're actually like, I like their game studio so much and like what they've done so much that I pre-ordered their Bond game. They're doing the new Bond game. It looks amazing. It's the same like base engine as Hitman, which means it should be a really good game. I am very hyped. When I'm just feeling stressed, sometimes I'll just throw on Hitman. It's Hitman World of Assassination, which is the like most recent one. And I'll just pull up one of those gorgeous maps. They've got one that's like a British manor. I also really like the Dubai map. And I'll just like try to like get some new achievements on them. It's really fun. Yeah. Well, that's cool. One of the oldest magic tricks ever recorded in ancient Egypt, trick where a guy beheaded a duck and then replaced it, leaving the duck whole. That's cool. Oh yeah, cat stuff. Uh, my cat lived with my parents, had kidney disease for years. I was worried about kidney disease. It's common with Maine Coons, and both my cats were Maine Coon mixes, and cancer got them both. Though Teddy had his thyroid problem, but it never developed into kidney stuff. And somehow outlived my parents' other cat and both dogs. Yeah, yeah. My kitties and my old videos, they were good kitties. I mean, Peter didn't live as long a life as I'd like, but it was a good life. And then Teddy just kept on keeping on for a really long time. That cat held on. Um, yeah, the same with your girl Belle, who passed before Christmas. I'm sorry. Your boy cat now assumes that he can get treats nightly. Exactly. I tried to get them into dental treats. I also read mixed things about dental treats and how efficacious they are. So I just kind of given in on yeah, that. Yeah, Life is Strange is so amazing. Like, oh, if you know, you know. And like I want to love the subsequent games more than I do. Um, two isn't bad, even if it has some flaws, but it's at least the same studio, so it has the same like depth of emotional intensity, which I appreciate. The newest ones are just too cozy, and it's like they're not willing to go as hard as the OG did. I like the original Life is Strange because it is so intense and it gets so dark and it's not afraid to get dark, and that's where the investment is. You know the thing that happens at the end of chapter one or doesn't happen with Kate. I was so upset. I made the wrong choices the first time I played that game and it traumatized me. And then like, you know, the big choice at the end, I cried. You're supposed to it's upsetting. Also like it that game goes hard. It's imperfect, but it's good. Um I still haven't finished the new one. I have it. I keep getting like I'll play a few chapters and I'm just not as invested as I'd like to be. Kind of a bummer. That the original studio though, Don't Nod, has made some other really good games. Another Choices Matter that they did. It's kind of a niche little one. It's not quite as replayable, but they made one called Gerda, Flame in Winter. It's a World War II one, so obviously like trigger warning for the Holocaust. But to that end, it's a very serious game, and it's an emotional and moving game. You're basically a resistance fighter. In I think it's set in the Netherlands or Denmark, one of those. But it actually reminded me of Black Books if anyone's seen that movie. But you're basically part of the like, or I should say, you don't. Joining the resistance is one of the choices. Basically, like you're in this town that Nazis are coming into, and you have to make choices because your father will lose his job if you do this, and like it's kind of like the choices that a normal person in a small town would have had to have made, and you obviously can't make all the right choices. It's a good game. um this sounds familiar, Dispatch. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I've never played Stardew Valley. I haven't gotten pulled into that. I will literally like lose my entire life if I develop a hyperfixation on a game. So I really have to be careful about what I dedicate my time to. I gotta write books. Something's gotta give. It depends. I don't know which one you mean. Any one of the games I described would possibly stress you out, but yeah, I enjoyed them though. No, I haven't played this. I go in bursts with PC gaming, and it's like what I'm in the vibe to play. Um, yeah. I oh, see, I never did that. It's so funny, like the little pokey, folksy things. I never as much got into in Fallout. Yeah, the second one, that Life is Strange, like I powered through. I do think it has a relatively good payoff, but yeah, that one had some stretches that were hard. Did you get far enough for it to get semi-gay? It did get semi-gay. I appreciated that. It tried. Yeah. But like the second one's just a little heavy-handed in terms of its politics, which isn't like a bad thing. I align with the politics it's heavy-handed about, but even I thought it was heavy-handed. It's like, oh, you're well, because it's made by non-Americans and they're doing American politics, and it was just they made some interesting choices. It's still an interesting game. Um, yeah, yeah, well, yeah, there's been a lot of Life is Strange since then, but the OG one is the best one. So, yeah, the choice at the end is supposed to break you, and like I will admit I'm a little bit of a purist. I mean, I chose what the game makers clearly think is the correct choice, but it's the hard choice. And like I feel bad doing it, but like the cathartic cry I got out of it because I was genuinely upset. I was like, yeah, this is what this is for. This is great. Oh, yeah. I have had Disco Elysium on my wish list, like as one that I know that I should buy for a really long time, and I just haven't yet. So like I should just buy it the next time it's on sale. So let me tell you the games I have bought but haven't played yet because I'm waiting for the right hyperfixation. Um, a Choices Matter game called horror game called As Dusk Falls. Haven't played it yet. I bought Batman Arkham Knight. I bought Gotham Knights. Haven't played them yet. I bought let's see. I tried to get into Grand Theft Auto, but it stressed me out too much. So I guess I'm never going to play that. I bought Heavy Rain. Haven't played it yet. I bought Jurassic World Evolution 2. Haven't played it yet. Jurassic World Evolution 1 slaps. Pretty fun, like little like simulation game. I bought, like I said, I have not finished Life is Strange Double Exposure yet. I just bought Lost Records Bloom and Rage. That's by the same studio that did the OG Life is Strange, and I will play it eventually. I'm looking forward to it. Haven't played it yet. I bought a sequel to Not for Broadcast. Haven't played it yet. I just like load up on games in case the day comes that I want to play something and it's not on sale. I buy these on sale. Oh, another really good Choices Matter game I can recommend. It's because it's a short one. You really only have to play it once, but it's like a like find it if it's on buy it on sale. It's called This Bed We Made. It is a mystery noir game. It's an illustrated one. It's like a what are those called? The engine the they have a name, the choice engine game thing. Very fun. Um, it's like a historical noir mystery. It's very good. I had a good time. You play a maid at a hotel and someone is murdered and you are like a snoop. You've been snooping in guest rooms and you kind of get pulled into solving the mystery. It's really fun. I don't have time for a new hyperfixation. I do have a Switch technically. Oh, so you just mentioned the one that I bought but haven't played yet. So yes, that's why I bought it because I've actually I was looking forward to it even when it was first announced. But I knew that I didn't have time to play it when it actually dropped because I was working on a book. So I just bought it on sale during the winter sale, the Steam winter sale. I've been price watching it for a while. Oh, another one I've been price watching but haven't played yet, but I know that I want to buy and I want to play is oh, the really famous one that Tom Holland did a movie of. It'll come to me. Um, let's see. I bought a game called Vampire. I think that's also possibly by the studio that did Life is Strange. I bought it because it was by a studio that made another game I liked. Haven't played it. Oh, some other like just like time strategy ones. One that I can recommend that I found. This is like so random and it's just like scratching your brain stuff. I bought and have played one called Fly Corp, and the same company made one called I never finished Cyberpunk 2077. I have to finish that too. I started it. They also made one called Check In. Flycorp is just routing planes, creating plane routes to different countries, and there's like a timer, and you have to like make a certain profit. I've just like it's a good like brain scratcher, brain itching one. And then they also made one called Check In, which is the same thing but running a hotel. I like those kinds of things sometimes, like if I'm in the right mood. Um, and then, another one I can recommend is called Dead in Bermuda. You're stranded on a desert island. If you see it on sale, I recommend buying it. And basically, it's like you're a bunch of castaways. You're in a plane crash and you're stranded, and you basically have to make a series of. It's a turnstile game similar to Civilization. Not similar because it's not a map, but it's turn-based gameplay kind of. Except you're not playing against anyone. The point is, you have to make choices in the right order between building shelter, building a fire, hunting for food, and some other stuff, so that people don't die. And it's challenging. The first couple of times I tried playing it, like everyone died. I was bad at it. In fact, if you make one wrong choice in the wrong order, everyone dies. It's fun. It's just like a good like I've enjoyed playing that a lot. Let's see. I have so many games I haven't played because basically during Steam sales, if I see something really interesting, I love a deal. I'll just buy a game for like $5 and play it. That's how I found Not for Broadcast. It was like $5 during a Steam sale. I was like, okay, and I freaking loved it. I'm obsessed with that game. It's by an independent studio. Like it's such a good game. Everyone needs to play it. And maybe at some point I would stream it on Twitch. Though I've already played it. So like it's I've watched other people play it though. I have watched streams of people playing it for the first time because I love to see them react to playing it. Same thing, I've watched people play Life is Strange for the first time. I love to see the reactions. Oh, another good one is Detroit Become Human. That's one I've played through a couple times and I've watched other people play. That's a fun one. I don't have it on Steam, which is why it didn't come up. I have it on some other game engine. Game Epic maybe? Yeah, God, I also have to finish Baldur's Gate 3. So many games, so little time. So many good games. Let's see. Yeah, games are incredible. The storytelling you can do in games is incredible. I would absolutely like if I had an opportunity work on a game. Um, like the storytelling that they can do and like the score that a lot of games have. And just God, how high quality they are now, like with all the art and everything and how hyper realistic some of them are, or even just the unique illustrated art styles. I really like it that you can get in indie games. Um, yeah. All right. Second mention of Dispatch. I got to check it out because I do love that kind of stuff. Um, I do enjoy Mario. I do have a Switch that I bought so I could scratch a Mario Kart itch. I used to have a Wii, and now I haven't played my Switch in a very long time, but I have it because I every once in a while just really want to play Mario Kart and Super Mario World. So I have heard of Ellipsis. Last I heard of it, it was still very much in the development phases where I wasn't keen to jump into it. I'm not ready to jump ship from Scrivener yet. Um, Yeah, I definitely I bought the Batman games on like deep discount during the Steam summer sale actually, and I'm just waiting to play it because of Jason. That is 100% why I got them. I was like, I need this for my baby. I will have a good time playing this game. I'm ready for it. I'm like saving a time. Yes, thank you. Uncharted. I've been meaning to buy Uncharted because I also assume I will enjoy playing that. Yeah, it's just like the time is right. Oh, another one I really want to do at some point is the famous French game that's won a bunch of awards. Oh, it'll come to me. If you know it, shout it out. Um, I have not played Until Dawn because I'm pretty sure this was a PS exclusive. Is it on PC yet? A lot of games I haven't played because I am exclusively a PC gamer, and a lot of PlayStation games have been exclusive to PlayStation until recently. That is also why I have not yet played The Last of Us. It is on PC now. They finally did that conversion because of the show, but I heard some mixed reviews about it, and I've been waiting. But at some point, it's inevitable. I will also purchase and play that. Um, I think Until Dawn was a PlayStation exclusive. If it is available now, let me know. But I think the last time I checked it was not. And I'm not getting a console anytime soon. I have enough going on and enough to focus on. Yeah, mystery games are so hit and miss. That's the thing. So I enjoyed this little indie one with the maid. I mentioned This Bed We Made. My thing with the Nancy Drew games, I know a lot of people love them, but like I have to be in such a specific mood to play vintage PC games. And so that's why I haven't played them. They're a little janky. I'm sure they're lovely though. I've watched some videos about them though. Game Rex. Evolve. I'll check it out. I'm so like I go in phases with gaming, and so I've been because I've been writing, I've been out of a gaming phase. I haven't even bought the new Civilization. I know I should. Nothing's hit as hard as Civ 5 for me, though. I tried Civ 6, I bought the expansions, and it never scratched the itch like Civ 5. I keep just going back to play Civilization 5, but I want to try Civ 7. I'm always intrigued to see what they do as the games evolved, and I'm always attracted to a good-looking game. Um, yeah. Let's see. Is a superhero game. Okay, I will. All right, I'll check it out. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, I feel like once I play one Batman game, it's probably going to be all downhill from there. I'll just like go full hyperfixation. I mean, I'm already like gone on. Thank you. That's the one. That's the one. It's Clair Obscur. I want to play it. I'm spoiled for it though, which is one thing. And I'm spoiled of my own volition. I gave permission to my friend who was playing it and having feelings and needing to talk about it, permission to spoil me. But I still want to play it because I hear it's incredible. But I do yeah, I can't have like a pure playing experience. Oh, that sounds so fun. But my baby, Jason, he's so pure. I love him. So I probably should upgrade. I have an Alienware. Um, but so I have a dark history of being stupid with my computers, bless me. I can be very clumsy. So my first gaming PC, which was quite nice, and I spent a good amount of money on it, your dumb self, my dumb self, your dumb friend here, knocked an entire glass of Diet Coke onto my tower. Dumbass. And it was the kind of tower where had to have the whole thing replaced. So it was technically no longer an alien where I took it somewhere where they had to give me a new motherboard, the whole thing. Because I'd only had it for like 6 months. Idiot. Dumb person. I do believe in paying for my mistakes. That was an expensive repair and hard drive recovery. Dumbass. That's me. At a certain point though, the fan gave out. Like I think even though I got it to last another couple years, I mean I worked it really hard. I did all my YouTube editing on it as well. So I upgraded for two reasons, for gaming and for YouTube. My laptops were just not able to handle it. Oh, I also technically play Sims, though I have a lot of complicated feelings about Sims. How could I forget the Sims and all the money I have poured into EA? I'm so mad at them. Oh, there's more. Oh, and Anno. I like Anno 1800. That's another one I've sunk a lot of time into. It's because those aren't on Steam. That's on the Ubisoft one. Um, so that computer like started struggle busing and kicked the bucket. I had another problem with it. So I just bought a new Alienware, but I I don't remember why. It must have been yeah, it was before I got my raise at work, and computers are expensive. Money is tight. So it's not that I cheaped out, it's that I didn't expensive. I didn't buy as nice a one as I could. And so, first of all, I had to buy a separate external hard drive for gaming. I bought like one of those drives that is made for running games, which is not an ideal solution because the hard drive isn't as good. But also, it has like this style where, like, I don't know, I worry about the fan because it's really hard to dust it and like to even open it. Long story short, I really should upgrade and get a more powerful machine. I would like to, but I haven't. And yeah, so but it is an Alienware. Um, yeah, I'll take a look. I do like some shooters. I'm just kind of a shooter novice. I'm not like as good as I wish I were. Um, yeah, it could be that yeah, I feel like there's a reason I did not buy Until Dawn. I definitely looked into it though, because obviously it's super famous. I watched a video on YouTube that basically spoiled the entire plot though. like on purpose. So I've watched a lot of that game. Like reaction, like live streamers like playing it. I'll definitely check it out. I do like mystery stuff. Oh yeah, I'm terrible. Especially with like the cats and all the California dust. I have like a air duster, but I just can't get in there well enough, and I worry about my PC. Sometimes it makes noises, but I've had it a couple of years. I want to get more use out of it before I don't want to just spend money to spend money. Yeah, so that's me and gaming. It's just so funny because I always kept it off of my YouTube channel. Like a lot of my interests, I just haven't really talked about. I mean, we're on my YouTube channel right now, and I said I would do this for 2 hours, and we're closing in on 3 hours. I do have to call it. It's almost 11 p.m. I will still be up for at least 3 hours, but I should be a grown up and call it. I think now-ish. This has been good. My lighting was fine. I'm a little jaundiced. I'm a little yellow at night with the camera. Maybe I should upgrade my camera. It's an HD camera, but I've never loved the lighting on it. Maybe we'll fix that. But thank you for joining me. I will try to do this semi-frequently at random times because I promised I would stream more on this channel, and this is me making an attempt at it. Um, yeah, I feel like what I probably should work on is maybe like making a choice ahead of time and actually soliciting you guys for questions. And maybe if I have questions ready, there's less of me scrolling the chat. I always feel better that you're just like watching me like scroll and like ramble. And I don't know how entertaining that is. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I technically am between books, but I also like really want to work on a new book. So I probably shouldn't fall into a video game hole. We'll see. Thank you for joining. Of course, Han, you're going to be up for like another 4 or 5 hours because you stay up later than I do. So we can go squeal about disco cowboy hats. So aren't you guys proud of me? I didn't even turn this into a buddy chat. So you're welcome. Someday I will make the 911 girls be on this and we will just talk about buddy for like 3 hours. Yeah. Cheers. You're welcome, fellow insomniacs and Europeans and Australians. Like, yeah, I am a night owl, so we can probably do this again. Um, yeah. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you next time. And I will attempt to maybe try to do this regularly. We'll see. This is better than not being on my YouTube channel for like 2 years. So yay. Bye everyone.